Alright, so the Median XL Sigma 2.0 patch notes have dropped. Let me just make sure everything's working okay. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. Just have my chat in a different tab somewhere else. Alright, so let's get started. Now we'll scroll down to the engine, of course. The game, engine, quality of life, new GUI theme, Tartarus. Shared stash and multi-page stash have been implemented in single-player mode. The shared stash and multiplayer had stability issues and may be reviewed/reattempted in the future. It is our priority to reduce the need of muling, and we will also be looking at other alternatives for convenient gear storage, such as currency tabs in the near future. Nobody can deny that that's a good thing. Implemented in-game extended stats, so you can view the sum of all your stats. Alright. Players now have unlimited respecs until level 50 after completing Den of Evil in normal difficulty. That one I don't really care about one way or the other. Most of the respecs will come after level 90 or until you get some increased max skill levels. Skills and skill tree will now display base level, max base level by default. Didn't it already do that? Unless maybe I'm wrong. Also, I'm just making sure. Okay. Passive skills now have rounded border, so they can easily be told apart from active skills. Added arrows to the skills interface that indicate the pre-requirements for putting points into skills. Yeah, I'll just have to look. I think most of this is just stuff I'll have to see for myself. Holding Alt while hovering over a skill in the skill tree will display that skill's soft level. Okay, that's convenient. Added tooltips to several skill trees which have a devotion or requirement. Shift click while putting a point into a skill to max it. When I read this, I first thought it was meaning stats, not skills, but this one I really like. A timer will now display when you're in a dungeon that has a quest lock. Available as toggle within the settings. Yes, I love that. I love this. That way I don't have to be frantic while doing a lockout area. Gamble refresh and gamble filter have been implemented. I don't really use the gamble that much since you can't gamble sacred uniques or sets, but I can't complain about this. Refresh is accessed via a button near where the repair would be. Also via hotkey, which is R and independent from other players' gambling sessions. Gamble filter allows you to select items to be highlighted within the gambling screen, allowing you to spot them more easily. This I could have definitely used in older versions. Eligible items are now highlighted when using Imbue Socket personalized rewards. Alright. Unless I feel it's not really necessary for the socket rewards, unless they remove the socket punch recipe, which I'll have to look at and see. Hopefully they didn't. The waypoint UI now allows you to access each act via the number keys. You can now repair all equipment at one of the smith merchants with a hotkey. New video mode support. Median XL 2.0 supports a third-party CNC draw video mode. GDI OpenGL Direct3D 9 render. Upscaling via GLSL shaders 4K+. Windowed full screen exclusive borderless mode. Alt-Enter to support to switch quickly between full screen and windowed mode. See if that actually works. Automatically saves and restores window position, size state. Optional mouse sensitivity scaling. Preliminary Live Retro's shader support. Multiple D2 compatibility fixes. Until further launcher updates, users will need to manually install it. Download CNC draw, unzip, paste into Diablo 2 folder, run D2 vid test, and set your video mode to direct draw 2D. Run CNC, draw config exe. Okay, this is just settings. Make sure or resolution maxes median XL's 4:3 aspect ratio, 8K 4K, 1920 by 440, 1600 by 1200, native of 1024 768. Launch game through exe. Remove the W or parameters. Windowed mode is managed by the draw. There will be support for using it with the launcher shortly. I'm just going to look at the chat. Hi, Adrian B. Actually more excited about this than Resurrected. I am too, just because I am a little bit afraid that Resurrected won't work on Windows 7. Because if you're playing it through the Blizzard launcher, I feel they might just be like, oh, well, this isn't support. Well, D2 Resurrected isn't supported for Windows 7. Fuck you, auto close. That would suck if that were the case. The bug fixes. The trade screen crash has been fixed. Okay, that's actually really nice. It does give me a sense of security so that nobody can steal shit that gets dropped. Fixed a bug with the Belt UI that could cause the game to crash. Really? Fixed a bug that caused some items to be visually misaligned when equipped. I'm not sure what this is referring to. Someone in the chat might have to let me know what this is. Fixed a bug that caused gear items to not have any background color if they were broken, had unmet requirements, etc. Fixed a bug that sometimes caused the game menu to come up when clearing the screen with escape key. Fixed a bug that sometimes caused the automatic to be turned off when clearing the screen with escape key. Fixed a bug that caused belts input to be blocked out when the inventory is opened. Oh, thank God. If this is what I'm thinking it is, then thank God. Fixed a bug that caused some hover text pop-ups to appear out of place in the trade screen. Alright, game, Mercenaries. Fix the Mercenary GUI. It will now list additional stats and the skills used by mercenaries with a full description of scaling of each. Previously, mercenaries needed to cast a self-buff skill to activate their full range of offensive-defensive capabilities. This often caused them to be killed before they activate their buff or running out. They now receive these stats innately. Thank God. So it looks like what I would call the mercenary bug is actually completely dead now. Thank God. Mercenaries no longer benefit from X to skill affixes. Alright, so that means you can't just stack a whole bunch of skills on plus whatever skills to have insanely powerful skills. Mercenary stat bonuses will no longer need to be activated upon death or when entering a new game. Once again, thank God this was implemented. Introduced a 1.2 second delay between mercenary actions on normal difficulty and a 0.8 second delay on nightmare difficulty. Not quite sure what this means. I will have to see, because I will be using a mercenary probably. Change made to balance mercenary's offensive power being too high during progression. Mercenary behavior on hell difficulty is not affected. Act 1 Rogue, Heart Seeker and Trinity Arrow now only unlock at level 90 as intended. Reduced enhanced weapon damage bonus from dexterity by 13%. So this thing won't be killing everything instantly like it would in previous versions. Not with the way I built them up. I never built them up well. So, Story Monster Overhaul. All monsters in classic zones of Acts 1 to 5 have been reworked. This includes different monsters on Nightmare and Hell compared to normal, new skills, new assets, new scaling and more. Stat scaling and more. Stay a while and listen. We have set out to achieve the following goals. Making Nightmare more interesting and more engaging. One of the problems of the original D2 campaign is Nightmare difficulty. Nothing really interesting happens here. There's no new content compared to normal, and the best items aren't available yet. More specifically for Median, you are rushing to get to Hell and progress the added endgame quests, while monsters in the first 4 acts provide barely any resistance to characters with decent gear. Yeah, true. Ideally, we would simply be rid of Nightmare and scale the content so one playthrough gets you to hell where the real fun starts. However, this is not possible in the Diablo 2 engine. As such, we've tried to spice up the progression journey by introducing brand new mobs for you to fight and better tuning their stats so the journey through Nightmare feels more engaging and memorable. We'll see what happens with this. Improved stats and skills. The classic progression to Hell has always been touted as the tutorial that prepares you for the brand new challenges that await on Hell difficulty. Yeah, I would agree with that. With the passage of time, the suitability of this tutorial has diminished significantly. Yeah, because not only would you have access to everything you would need in the documents with items, equipment, and stuff, and also other guides. Make no mistake, Sigma is the easiest major version of Median XL that's ever existed in history. To the point where we felt it did not fit with the rest of the game that you all know and love, and did not accurately prepare you for endgame. 2 main problems identified were that monsters would be defeated too easily as soon as players knew to craft a key item or two, and that some would have incredibly bursty damage and could rapidly kill unsuspecting characters. To address these problems, we have tuned monster health levels to anticipate player gear upgrades. Monster offensive power has been calibrated against average player health for each area level. This means there will no longer be huge outliers with negligible or overpowered damage. We have placed the risk and reward calculation firmly in the player's hands. Taking more risk and pulling multiple monster packs at once is the only time you will be at risk of one-shots if your character is prepared adequately. I'll have to see if I like this or not. Monster skills have been redone to be more in line with what you will face in our endgame quest, making gameplay more about player reactions and skill and less about hard gear checks. What about the servers? Every time 2 hours warning, then shut down and relog. I have not been on the servers recently, Chris Kappa, so I wouldn't know. They might be preparing for the update. Although I hope this isn't a case where no one can download the game. Like when Sigma first launched a few years ago, everyone had massive difficulties trying to get the game. So hopefully this doesn't turn into that. Also, Pan says hoping they would be removing Nightmare. Yeah, that would be nice, but I like what's set up here. That wouldn't be possible in the Diablo 2 engine. We've also implemented the following changes. Monster endemics will be better tied to the respective levels in order to correspond to what we know of the Diablo lore. Monsters use the highest quality and most lore-appropriate assets we have available, including unused D2 assets, imported D1 assets thanks to Ogodai, and brand new customable ones thanks to Inertia. There are less monster types per zone. This enables us to make more memorable and thematic while also having greater variety between zones for players. Monster pack size has been increased and monster density has been slightly reduced. This means you will encounter bigger monster groups spread slightly further apart. This enables us to make monster encounters and combat more memorable instead of everything blending together. Monster skill effects have been optimized for visual clarity and high performance as much as possible. We have greatly limited the use of on-death effects and have eliminated the use of reflected damage. I thought they eliminated reflected damage a while ago. Both are mechanics which we consider to make combat less fun and character power progression less rewarding. Super unique monsters and minor story bosses, e.g. Blood Raven, will now have a higher chance to drop unique set and rare items. I like that. Additionally, most have been completely revamped. So I might actually do all the super unique enemies again. Maybe. We'll see on that one. Endgame monsters. In line with the changes to monsters present in regular areas, we have also changed the stats of monsters in endgame areas. We have reduced endgame monster damage by 30% at level 105, tapering down to 10% at level 150. We have increased endgame monster life by 20%. So, I feel this is get more damage, is what this is saying. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this is get as much damage as possible. Neothok now drops 2 tiered uniques on normal. He dropped 3 before. Improved Countess, improved drops from boss. Great chance to drop L rune in normal difficulty. Having played the vanilla game again, and needing L runes for shit, like, I'm glad that the L rune can actually drop from Countess now. And Dariel now drops an extra item on Nightmare in Hell. Duriel, battle has been completely reworked, now drops an extra item on Nightmare in Hell. I'll be excited to see this, actually. Mephisto, battle reworked. Again, I'll be interested to see what they do. Let me just look at my stream. Currently doing Neothok grind on new Boazon. Painful, NGL. Yeah, I was really hoping they would... I'm really hoping that I see a change where you don't have to run Neothok as much. Because, seriously, fuck doing that as much as you have to do. Monster damage nullification. Amounts have been reduced from 50-75 to 20-40-60 due to monster health scaling. That should be about balanced, actually. Now that the damage reduction granted by sword mods isn't as significant, we will be removing the text indicator for this from the monster's tooltip. Added a variant for physical damage, implemented through mobs' physical resistance. Act bosses will now regenerate 5% of their maximum health upon killing a player in Nightmare and 10% on Hell difficulty. So no more corpse running act bosses, although I feel this would only really be applicable to Bale. Maybe Diablo and maybe Duriel. Well, actually, with this stuff being reworked, with Duriel and Mephisto being reworked, we'll have to see if this makes much of a difference. Now we'll drop 1 Arcane Shard on Nightmare difficulty. Act 1 through 4 bosses on Hell difficulty now drop 2 Arcane Shards. Well, that's nice, I suppose, but that's basically, like, what would be the difference between just farming Neothok, then? I feel they should drop Arcane Crystals in their entirety. But Neothok dropping 2 tier... Okay, alright, am I live? Am I live right now? Yeah, something happened in my OBS window. Let me know if any of this got cut out, because apparently I got disconnected there for a minute. Alright, I'm just gonna wait a moment to make sure everything's okay. Oh, hold on. Alright. Am I back? Am I live? Alright, I'm gonna kinda hope that I'm live. Let's move on. Loot performance optimization. Remade the distribution of tiered and sacred items to better take into account the attribute requirement of the gear and story progression compared to before. Rewrote general equipment, normal, elite, and super unique drops to be more efficient and better suited to the story progression. Now only 2 tiers of weapons and armor will drop at any one time. For example, On Hell, only Tier 4 and Sacred items will now drop. If the game would have instead picked a lower item like Tier 2 or 3, it'll now drop nothing. So basically, if anything drops, it'll be a decent item that drops. That actually is a very good thing. This greatly reduces visual clutter on the screen without changing the probability of getting good items. Yep. This statement here summarizes my thoughts. Chests during story progression will now drop items better fitting their location. Fixed a math error causing UMOs to not have equivalent drop chances. Fixed the math error causing shrines to not have equivalent drop chances. I hope that these mean that they drop more frequently. Make sure everything's okay. Less trash that no one would pick up. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And it's not like there's any reason to pick them up, since you can't sell them to merchants for 500,000 gold like in the days of old. Story side areas. On Nightmare and Hell difficulty, the areas are inhabited by veteran monsters. I did actually read this on off screen. Veterans have the following bonuses: plus 50% life and 10% attack rating, defense, drop chance, and experience granted. On Hell difficulty, the veteran monsters may occasionally drop Oil of Greater Luck in Act 1. Now, this thing used to exist in Ultimata. I think you got this from, what's his name? Griswold on Nightmare difficulty. Oil of Augmentation in Act 2. Oil of Intensity in Act 3. We'll have to see what these do. Oil of Conjuration in Act 5. But what about Act 4? What about the land masses? So there's nothing, they haven't said anything here about the land masses. I would like for those to be removed from the game, because occasionally they actually cause the game to crash. Well, I should say freeze, and then you have to Control-Alt-Delete to get out of there. Arcane Sanctuary. Widened all passages to prevent characters from getting stuck. Once again, having played vanilla Diablo 2, I'm very glad this is implemented. Island of the Sunless Sea. Endgame quests. Nephilim Rifts. Island of the Sunless Sea. Slightly expanded some paths and added few new ones. Reduced the need for backtracking and reposition the golden chests. Improved lighting and enhanced environment details. 30% overall gain in enemies spawning areas. I'm not sure what this means. Does this mean more enemies will spawn like just everywhere, or is it just 30% more areas, or 30% more enemies will spawn where there are enemies? See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not entirely sure what this means. I mean, we'll see on Friday. Well, not Friday, because I won't get that far in a single day, but we'll have to see on what this means. Trojan Jungles added numerous optional sections and expanded existing ones. As long as this doesn't make getting to Lord Aldrich Jatan / Astrogha, Akarat / Karas 3000, and Legacy of Blood harder to get to. Also, Tegonzi. As long as it doesn't make that harder to get to, then I'm okay with that. Improved environmental details and added several shrines and loot sources. Okay, so we can actually shrine run in Trojan Jungles, it seems. 110% overall gain in enemy spawning areas. Can't complain about that, because that just means more signets while farming Karas 3000 or Legacy of Blood. Karas 3000. Fix some invisible walls in several corners where enemies were not supposed to spawn and where loot was unreachable. I've never seen this, but can't complain about that. Added small reward sections with shrines and golden chests. Very nice. Added few additional zones and a few paths to shortcut some areas. 20% overall gain in enemy spawning areas. High Heavens Library of Fate. Light wells no longer ignore your poison resistance. This was a fantastic change. Although I kind of prefer light wells just not be in the game at all. But whatever. Just Nucleus 42. Just read through these. Excited to see what you play. Andreas Rostad. Finally caught a stream. Probably watched all your Remedian XL videos since 2017 when I myself started playing. Such a shame I'm not bigger than I am. Sub-wise, I deserve a lot more. Thank you, sir. Although I wish I just had more views on my other stuff, my non-MXL stuff. So Tegonzi now features larger pathways, some new sections, and river shores connections. There's now far fewer obstacles, and the connections between zones have been increased to 10 from the previous 4. I'm guessing this means the outer circle and the inner circle. Triune enlarged both Durham's location and the bridge leading to Malik. That's actually really nice, so you can avoid the life drain missiles. Although that doesn't hurt as bad as it used to. Remove several wall segments nearby Malik. Very good. Makes pathing easier. Reworked fight mechanics no longer relies on aura from the charm, which caused numerous issues. Mind control reduced spread of random range. And Durham reduced health. Duncraig fixed some out-of-boundary issues, improved lighting, enhanced environmental details. I read this, and this is the best change ever for Duncraig. Teleporting skills are no longer mandatory to reach all the sections. So, we don't have to just teleport and hope for the best. And just get killed the second we teleport over there. Thank God. Level is now interconnected as to minimize backtracking. Removed, repositioned several objects that involuntarily acted as obstacles. Enlarged a few passages and lowered the height of several walls to reduce occurrence of blind spots. And 20% overall gain in enemy spawning areas. So Duncraig looks a lot more enjoyable to quest. To farm, it seems about the same. Maybe I'm wrong. But, Taroja, no longer a rift, now a dungeon quest. See rune changes. We'll get to that whenever we get to it. Vizjin reworked the map to improve players' experience. Portal to Genesis is now much closer to the entrance of the level. Depending on how much closer this is, I may start attempting Lazarus again. Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, if you only have to get through, like, a small number of mobs to get here, then I might actually attempt it. But if I still have to go through mines and nukes and shit in order to get there, then I'm still gonna say fuck it. Minefield's presence reduced by 95%. Thank God. ATMG sentry traps occurrence reduced by 40%. Enemies' respawn points have been distributed more evenly. This might make Vizjin more enjoyable to farm if you're trophy farming. Oh, added a waypoint. Oh, fuck yes. Finally, they added a goddamn Vizjin waypoint. Oh, yes. I have been saying that for so long. Now I can finally stop bitching about it. Added several loot sources to further promote exploration. This makes me happier than you know. Fosdenville. Reworked the map to improve the visuals, clearing flow and to remove the need of backtracking. Teleporting skills are no longer mandatory to reach all the sections. That one's not as important as Duncraig, in my opinion. But still, that is nice. Removed various floor slabs that impaired navigation. Yeah, because that had no purpose. Lowered on average height of the walls is to improve visibility. Bremtown's portal is now close to the level's entrance. That's nice. Although if you can clear, like if you can clear Fostonville, you can clear Bremtown, because Bremtown's mobs are a lot weaker. 30% overall gain in enemy spawning areas, slightly increased Necrobot and Harpy AI delay, reduced rune drops in accordance to enhanced rune overall. Also, I'm just looking at my window to make sure everything's okay. Also, let me just make sure. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments there. New Sluzglen. Bale's forces have invaded the land of the Druids. Help them stop the... What the hell? I can't pronounce that. New massive endgame rift located in Act 5, area level 135. What is the... Okay, I'm just skimming through this. I'm not seeing a level requirement. So is this area required level 130 or 125 or new town Turdulra can be accessed by killing Volcathos and after obtaining the Turdulra waypoint. Bestiary, Scytheclaw. These fast mantis have strong poison attack and will quickly swarm you. Undying, 30% chance to self-resurrect after they die and resistant to poison. Dryad spawn. Fearful archers that will always prefer to stay away from close combat. Crushing attack. Whoa, 100% crushing blow. Ooh. That's gonna be rough for everybody. Able to quickly drain your life away if left unattended. Resistant to physical damage. Yeah, no shit. 100% crushing blow. Ooh, that sounds rough. Spriggan. These powerful fire commanders will try and set the entire location on fire. Meteor strike attack leaves patches of fire on the ground that can quickly stack unless player repositions. Meteor pulse aura does fire damage to all enemies every 2 seconds. Does not stack with other Spriggans. Yeah, if it's stacked with other Spriggans, then this would just be way too overpowered. Resistant to fire damage. Sapling Guard. Corrupted Guardians of the Forest. Sapling Guards are all about stalling enemies. Will harvest players from a distance. This attack also deals physical and magic damage. When in danger, spawns a multitude of harmless egg traps to absorb incoming missiles. If the egg traps are killed, they will spawn more decoy guards, resistant to magic damage. These could either be really annoying or not a big deal, I feel. Aetherborn. Before the corruption of Slozglen, the Druid colleagues managed to control weather by building the Dulra Catalyst. With said catalyst, Bale was able to create many more of these powerful weather demons to protect his invasion. Cast long-range Arctic Blast and Snowstorm. He uses Chain Lightning to destroy summons and players alike. Ouch. Buffs himself with Weather Storm, and upon close contact, casting thunders from the sky and destroying all enemies who stand still. Resistant to lightning and cold. Drop rates. Drop biased. Enhanced runes, sacred bases, and special oils. See, okay, we'll look at that later. Aetherborns always drop at least rare quality items and have a chance to drop entire arcane crystals. Nice. Sapling Guards have the highest chances to drop one or several runes. Okay, so we'll be going here for rune farming. Just scroll back up. Dimensional Labyrinth removed the 5 easiest floors. Floors now scale from 1 to 10 with the overall area levels up by 5 compared to previously, i.e. 1 to 5 yellow floors, 6 to 10 red floors. So floor 1 would be the old number 6, 2 would be 7, and so on. Riftstone 1 is no longer a world drop, now drops from the Ascendant Riftwalker. Charging red Riftstones now only takes 1 arcane crystal. That does alleviate monotony. Riftstone's upgrade recipe has been disabled. Okay, so you can't make 2 level 1s into a level 2 and so on. Increased loot drops from regular enemies and corrupted heroes. Reduced health of the corrupted heroes and navigator the Navigator and Garbad, slowed down the Corrupted Amazon. Observer and Colossal Tunneler's range spells will now check defense, reduced Enris's fire damage by 10%. Tier 10, rework the level and address the map's known issues. 30% overall gain in enemy spawning areas. I'm thinking this might be referring to the fact that you could just enter the portal and then immediately get killed. I've never gotten that far, but I know that can happen. Endgame Dungeons Invasion now drops a new charm, the Riftwalker's Eye, instead of upgrading your class charm. This is fine if you're an idiot like I was during the Bowsork playthrough and forgot to cube the damn thing. This is just a knock on me because I was dumb enough to forget to do that, even though I've been doing it the entire time before that. Charm lists optional bonus quests for parts 2 and 3 of this quest, which we will get to, and I did read that off screen. +1 to class skills has been replaced with +1 to all skills, so that is just straight up better, especially if you're doing an O skill build, which I might do this season, I'm not sure. Infernal Machine, remove torches, now features damaging fire spots. We'll see what that is whenever I get there. Death Projector, fixed minor tile issues, enhanced environment details and lighting, added gold drops and a golden chest in the northern section. Zone partially restructured. 2 additional Zakharumites inhabit the dungeon. Horizon Sanctum now features an optional zone, reachable only via teleport skills, containing few golden chests. Akarat reduced healing, making them a bit easier to kill. Assault on Mount Ariat added some destructible obstacles in line with the context of the level. Your character will no longer unmorph when close to the edges of the zone. This I definitely saw a few times. It doesn't really change much about the quest, but it is nice that that no longer happens. New Inquisitor of the Triune, new dungeon quest. Entrance located in the causeway leading to Travancore. Required level is 110. Reward is 2 skill points, once per character. Okay, once per character. Okay, I see. So you can't just redo this a bunch of times. But extra skill points is always nice to have. Bull Prince Rodeo, improved environmental details. Now cows have plenty of grass to eat. I'm really surprised they haven't added a lockout to this yet. Also just looking to make sure everything's okay. Rathma Square, map has been reworked. Most of these I'm just reading and don't really have any thoughts on this. Black Road. Change the configurations of some rooms to improve buyer colleagues' targeting behavior and players' experience. Added chest and enriched location of environmental details. Legacy of Blood Golem's description is more accurate. Heart of Sin fixed some tile issues. Enhanced environmental details. New quest, Invasion Part 2, new dungeon quest. Entrance located in the Realm of Sin. Required levels 115. Reward, upgrade the Riftwalker's Eye with the dropped essence to receive +1 to all skills. Bonus reward, transmutate Riftwalker's Eye after fulfilling the condition to receive 2% extra max life and mana. Always good to have more life and mana. Judgment Day, Halls of Valor, replaced braziers along arena borders with light sources that do not impact the player's mobility. Halls of Valor was... Oh, that's Imperious. Quavsin removed braziers from the walkable zones and reorganized the lighting. Lord of Lies, the map has been reworked. Invasion Part 3, new dungeon quest, located in the Realm of Lies. Required level is 130. Okay, upgrade it with the dropped essence to receive +1 to max Eliraz. Transmutate Riftwalker's Eye after fulfilling the condition to receive +1 to max Ellie Res. So does this mean that this would give +2 to max Ellie Res, or is this just redundant? Because if it's +2 to max Ellie Res, that's actually really nice. Especially to those interested in doing the Dimensional Labyrinth, which I am not myself, but some people do like trying to do that. Ghosts of Old Bremtown. Fixed several tile issues and revised lighting. Restructured the majority of level segments and added a few new ones. Added some shrines and golden chests. 20% overall gain in enemy spawning areas. I feel this won't really affect the difficulty of the upgrade, because, like, with enough kill speed, you could just decimate everything anyway. Because the mobs are actually fairly weak. Yashari Sanctum increased or enhanced the uniqueness of Volthek's arena. Spectre of Hatred improved map. Figment of Pain improved players' pathing and landscape visuals. Fixed some minor tiles issues, improved lighting in a few paths for snare destruction. Details improvements on the rest of the stages. As long as they don't remove the red portals, I don't care, because I love the red portals in Yashari Sanctum. Ymir's Light. This is Atana Khan, aka Startled Witch. Embellish the stages to emphasize the location's distinctiveness and ambience. Wait, Ymir's Light. That is... Yeah, that is Witch. Spirit World is Giowa, i.e. New Zoran Zen. It expanded some land bridges and tweaked the geometry of the zone to be more orderly, reorganized the light positions to better players' orientation while navigating the arena, removed clickable rat's nest and fogs over abundance. Yeah, screw the rat's nest. They were just there to potentially fuck people over. Improved consistency in the availability of wall covers. That's actually really nice. Add golden chests in the furthest corners. Nephilim sacrificed. Edriums removed poison absorb. Zones improved environmental details in every stage and added loot sources in some. Sewer increased the size of the arena and reduced the number of obstacles. Arcane slightly increased the size of the arena and improves pathing in the central area. I like the improved pathing in the central area. Realm of Sin slightly enlarged the arena and distanced the lesser evils for a better experience. Okay, so you don't have to deal with Belial while dealing with Asmodan. Tristram, prime evils no longer get stuck in the burning town's ruins. I myself never experienced this, but I know to only kill Diablo, so... Aldi's Chamber. Remove the small braziers on the rim surrounding the crater to enhance mobility, and implemented a glow effect to the lava below. I would like to see that, actually. That would look pretty cool, I think. That doesn't mean I'm going to be doing Aldi on every character. Lazarus. Fixed a few tile errors and enlarged all corridors by one tile. Slightly modified some wall positions and removed the southern pool of water. I think I know which one this is talking about. Removed ground torches that obstructed paths and reduced the number of columns. Added a shrine in the northern corner. I wish they would fix the problem where Laz could teleport inside the player and fuck him over that way. But, do fire shrines still exist? Because if fire shrines still exist, I'm wondering if that means you could just use the fire shrine to cut his health down to half. And you could make Laz a lot easier then. Although I feel they might have made it so that you can't use fire shrines for that anymore. And of course, that's if fire shrines still even exist, which I forget if they do or not. Herald of the End reduced area size and made corners unwalkable. Removed Death Strike. Reduced fire jump area. Now rarely cast Pillars of Flame. I myself have never tried Herald of the End, but I'll have to see how these changes affect Sam whenever Ben or someone uploads a new video killing Sam. Demios, improved lighting and environmental details on all of Demios' arenas. Enhanced arena's visual uniqueness. Arena entrance now has 10-minute lockdown. Alright, now for characters. General, skills revamp. Patch 2.0 brings the largest set of skill changes any Media and XL version has ever seen. The primary mechanical changes are in how and when you are able to put points into your skills. The current system allows you to add an additional point to any skill every 6 character levels, and would further be enhanced by the max skill level stat. This led to an overall predictable, cyclic, and uninteresting progression while leveling, with excess skill points in early game and very little maxing variety in the end game due to skills taking over 30 base levels each. The new system aims to be more versatile, organic, and intuitive, qualities we felt the current system was lacking. Class skill levels have been split into 8 skill tabs per class, up from 3, with each build having its own unique tree. This you would know if you watched the trailer, which I did. Max skill level... max skill level increases every character level rather than every 6 character levels. This means you can put 20 skill points into a level 1 skill at level 20. Doing so isn't always preferred due to increasing mana costs on active skills or other options becoming available. We encourage players to explore different combinations, especially with free respec until level 50 before setting on a build. Skill caps are still influenced by unlock level, meaning you would need to be level 100 to put 10 points into a level 90 skill. Okay. So more like vanilla D2 here. Most existing skills are now capped at 25 base levels, with reward skills capping at 15. Max skill level stat has been removed and replaced with new mastery specialization. Added over 100 new class skills, most in the form of upgrades to existing skills. Many upgrades have max levels such as 4, 10, or even 1, being able to reach full potential with less points. Several upgrades and new mechanics to existing skills, in some cases existing features were converted due to upgrades to simplify the more intense skills. In some cases, upgrades can dramatically change how a skill is used, such as converting a long duration buff into a short one or making your build scale in a different way. You just ate a fire shrine in the current patch. Okay. Alright, thank you for that, Pan. So we know that fire shrines do exist. Although and like I said, I do think they'll make it so that fire shrines can't spawn in the Lazarus arena. Mastery is a new skill tree, full of passive skills shared between all classes. Use it to customize your build to your preference or fine-tune your character for future challenges. Choose between 8 passive skills, with more to be added in future content updates. You may only invest in up to 3 mastery skills. Some are available straight away, while others must be unlocked by completing endgame quest. Meditation, new level 1 passive skill, increases maximum mana and mana regeneration. This is based off the meditation aura from the Paladin in Vanilla D2, it looks like. Maximum mana bonus scales with character level. At low level character bonus is greatly amplified. Add 5% mana regen, plus 1 per skill level. Mana bonus increases by 100% by base level. I assume this means damage, maybe? Max base level is 3. Purity, new level 1 passive skill. Protects you against poison damage and curses. Increases curse length reduction by 10% per base level. Increases poison length reduction by 10% per base level. Max base level is 4. Okay, so basically this is used against curses and poison. Melee Devotion. New level 1 passive skill. A melee exclusive layer of damage protection. Reduces all incoming damage by 20%, multiplicative with other defenses. Only allows use of melee debuff and summoning skills. NB no summons. What's NB mean? I'm not sure what NB means. Max base level of 1. This, I feel, could make melee builds extremely OP. Something about this just makes me think that melee builds are going to be extremely meta now. Tenacity, new passive skill. Unlocked by defeating Infernal Machine in the Pit. Increases physical resistance. Bonus is 1% per base level. Max base level is 5. So you get some more physical resistance. Endurance, new passive skill. By defeating Bartuk and Chamber of Blood. Increases max life. Bonus is 1% per base level. 2% for Necros. Maximum base level is 10. Trying to think where this would be. Well, trying to think where some of these would be more useful than. Well, I mean, I could certainly think of builds where this would be more useful than some of these other ones. Continuity, new passive skill. Unlocked by defeating an Arius in the Chapel of Vanity. Increases skill duration. Bonus is 5%. 4% per base level. Skill duration increases length of all buff debuff effects you use. Max base level is 6. I'm not sure how useful this will be in practice. I mean, I'm sure someone will think of ways to use this, and I'll be excited to see what they come up with. Because I myself am not the best skill crafter in existence. Specialization, new passive skill. Unlocked by defeating Bale on Hell difficulty. Increases skill cap of your active non-ultimate abilities. Bonus is 1% max skill level per 2 base levels. Max base level is 10. So you can get 5 extra skill points. Or 5 skill levels to those, it seems like. I can see this being useful for casters and such. Chemistry, new passive skill. Unlocked by defeating Darkstar Dragon in Bremtown in under a minute and a half. Increases healing and mana regen from potions. Reduces life leech. Health regen increases by 4% per base level. Mana by 8%. Life leech reduced by 3%. Max base level is 5. I could definitely see some uses for this. Lazarus, for example, because life leech doesn't mean shit against Laz. And also probably Dimensional Labyrinth, because, again, life leech doesn't mean nearly as much in Dimensional Labyrinth as it does normally. Miscellaneous. Range skills which require special conditions to unlock, for example, Trap Rat skills and Bow Druid skills, will now be correctly blocked by equipment with melee-only restrictions. Natural block chance cap has been reduced from 75% to 50%. So, oh, wait a minute. Max block chance can be increased with a new stat available from some skills and items. The absolute max cap has been changed to 80%. It's changed to aims to reduce power gap in builds that have to pick between one-hand dex weapon or two-hand strength weapon. All skills will cause a short cooldown when triggered, as procs will no longer do so. All skills which require Black Road Charm to unlock at level 1 now unlock at level 115 as opposed to 90. Yeah. This is no real change, but it is kind of silly that the level cap is the required level is 90. Life Overhaul. Reduce percentage bonuses to max life on items and skills in order to curtail life scaling in endgame. Most damage of most monsters has been reduced in accordance with this change. All classes may pick up a max life enhancing passive in their mastery tab. Numbers vary depending on factors such as vitality, scaling, and other skills. Percentage of Life bonus on most items have been reduced by 2/3. Life bonus on most skills and class exclusive charms have been reduced by 50%. Alright, Amazon. Sped up two-hand spear animation. Now can reach 8 frames per attack. Sped up block animations while using javelin or scepter. Neutral, balance, defense per level above 28 increased by 50%. Above level 28 increased by 50%. Okay, so that makes Spearzons a bit more tanky. Fortitude, now level 40 skill, upgrades Ecstatic Frenzy, adds 25 stamina per base level. That means you could run forever as a Boazon. Athena's Gift, now new level 50 skill, increase max block by 5% per base level. Max base level is 5. That helps Scepterzons or Javazons. Bow, Trinity Arrow, now adds physical damage per level, increases by 15% per base level. Barrage, now a level 5 skill. Phalanx, now a level 10 skill. Now only wall width increases with skill level, cooldown of 6 seconds. Fire at Will, now new level 15 skill. Upgrades Phalanx, reduce cooldown of Phalanx by 0.6 seconds per base level. Max base level is 10. So basically this is 10 points to remove the cooldown from this. Dragon Lore, level 20 skill, adds 1% physical resistance per base level, adds 2 enemy LE res per base level. Isn't that what this was before? Is that not what this was before? Or am I forgetting what this did? The old one used to, like, the ultimative one, I think, added tri-LE damage. I thought this added Pierce before, like in Sigma. Maybe I'm wrong. Elemental Command, new level 25 skill, adds 7% plus 2 innate LE damage per base level. Max base level is 5. Worm Shot, now a level 30 skill, attacks 3 targets, 1 target per 2 base levels. I don't know if this is a buff or not. Multiplicative seems 20% multiplicative to which one? I know this is a problem with me not being able to see chat at the same time I'm reading. Ah, well. Anyway, back to the thing. Also, let me read the other comments real quick. Must run forever in the with a buff by the name of Fortify. Must run forever already in the current patch, knowing when you run out. Oh, okay, melee damage reduction is multiplicative. Okay. Javelin. Oh, hold on, I'm not done with this. Keen Sight, level 40 skill, increases seek range of Worm Shot by 0.65 yards per base level. I don't really see Worm Shot being able to kill stuff from off screen like it used to be able to do. But oh well. Javelin, Moonbeam, increased magic damage at low level. Ricochet removed. Split Spear, level 5 skill. There's an arc of spears that pierce their target. 135% weapon damage, converts 50% of physical damage to fire, adds flat fire damage per level, increases by 15% per base level, 3 base spears plus 1 per 3 levels. So this might actually be a viable crowd clearing skill as opposed to Ricochet, which was garbage in Sigma. I want to say Ricochet was garbage in every single version after Ultimative. It used to be good in Ultimative and in previous versions, I believe. Enfilade, now a level 15 skill, 1 second cooldown. Swift Aim, new level 20 skill, upgrades Enfilade, reduces cooldown of Enfilade by 0.2 seconds per base level. Okay, so this is like Fire at Will plus Phalanx. So Enfilade, I think, will still be the single target killer. Moon Queen, fixed a bug that where the plus physical damage and crit strike was not applied to javelin throwing skills. Fairy Ring, now a level 30 skill. Celestial Rage, new level 40, requires Moonbeam. Throws a javelin that improves your combat efficiency. Drains 50% life over the duration of the skill. Base duration, 5.4 seconds, 0.2 seconds per level. Adds 10% physical damage per base level. Adds 1% life leech per base level. When cast with at least 10% base levels, plus 1 Enfilade projectiles. Ooh. Maximum base level is 10. Ooh, so basically, you do this and then you use life leech to keep alive during this thing. I could see this being useful for farming. I don't really see this being actually with plus 1 Enfilade projectiles. I was gonna say it's not that good for boss running, but with this thing, I take that back. Offering of the Ascari. New level 50 skill requires Fairy Ring. Sacrifices Ascari warriors to aid you in battle. Spawns 4 corpses. Base cooldown is 6 seconds, reduced by 0.08 seconds per base level. Discover this mod. Seems like a good time to get it. I agree, Tim. This would be a good time to get it. Well, Friday will be. Spear. Remove the old Fury mechanic. Fury was the mechanic where you hit... I think it's the mechanic where you use takedown? Actually, I forget what it was. Unless it was... hold on. Hyena Strike. Yeah, actually, I forget what this was. It's been so long since I've even tried a spears on that I honestly don't remember what that was. Great Hunt, now a level 1 skill. Starts with 1 spirit, plus 1 spirit per 10 base levels. Max base level is 15. Gain 1 spirit per Fury charge. Hyena Strike, now a level 5 skill. That's the one that does a lot of poison damage. Fury increases the effect of the poison duration stat by 20% per charge. Takedown, now a level 10 skill. Grants a Fury charge per attack, maximum of 5. So basically, takedown, 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 and then Great Hunt or Hyena Strike. Duration is 12 seconds, refreshes each attack. Regenerates 1 life per second per Fury charge. Max base level is 1. All active... Yeah, it is so saying here, all other active spear skills are improved by Fury. It seems like they're really trying to buff the spears on. And I had interest in playing melee spears on in the past. So, this makes me want to play spears on more. Hunter's Prowess, new level 15 skill, upgrades takedown. Takedown improves combat abilities. Okay. Adds 1% movement speed and 4% attack speed and 7% bonus defense per base level per Fury charge. Max base level is 10. Lioness, now level 20 skill, adds 10% physical damage per base level, up from 9. Lioness also improved attack rating, and I want to say it improved total character defense too. If it still does that, then Lioness is going to be a lot better. Pounce. Weapon damage reduced by 6.25%. Magic damage reduced significantly. Now gains 1% magic damage per 1 dexterity. Magic damage increased by 100% per Fury charge. Jesus. That sounds really powerful now. I know I did the Pounce on in the past. but not like a proper melee one. Fend, new level 50 skill, bulks up and fends off enemies on all sides. 125% weapon damage, 30-second base duration, 20-second cooldown. Adds 4% physical resistance. Physical resistance is now increased by 100% per fury charge. So this would be like, what, 25% physical resistance, roughly? Not bad. Storm, Thundercrack, increased mana cost, now releases 8 bolts. Lightning conversion is now 50%. Reworked bonus lightning damage scaling now has a significant increase in damage every 5 base levels. Rift Field, new level 5 skill, upgrades Thundercrack, increases Seek range by 10% per base level. Max base level 5, so up to 50%. So for those of you wanting to do a melee Storms on, which I had done in the past, this could actually be pretty nice. Storm Call, level 10 skill, now gets damage bonus from dexterity instead of energy. Fantastic, so Storm Call is going to be a lot better. Early game damage scaling increased, minimum lightning damage increased, maximum lightning damage increased, decreased total of around 10% average damage increase. Increased minimum lightning damage on skill levels above 28 by 25%. Hammer Zere level 15 now gains 15% lightning damage per base level in Storm Call. Asterism, level 20 skill, now adds spell focus instead of energy. I want to say this is a buff, though I'm not actually sure. Ascari Lightning, level 30, requires Asterism, no description. New Discharge, new level 40 skill, a Nova that reduces enemy lightning resistance. Base levels reduce the cooldown. Magnetic Field, now a level 50 O skill. Making sure everything's okay. Sorry, isn't it Saturday? It releases Friday at 2 p.m. where I live. Though maybe it will be Saturday in other places in the world, depending on time zones and all that. Magic Bloodzon, magic missiles, increased damage scaling at early levels, but above level 28 damage is the same. Reduced mana cost. Bloodstorm, level 5 skill, increased damage at early levels. Total damage increased by 9%. Reduced mana cost. Balefire, now level 15, increased damage. Bacchanalia, level 20 skill. Damage to Blood Witch spells, now 4% per base level, up from 3. Lava Pit, increased damage. Increased damage gain above level 28 by 10% average. Fire Elementals, now a level 25 skill in the Blood Tree. Now has self-synergy of 15% life per base level. So if you want to make a summon build, you go with this. Blood Magic upgrades Fire Elementals. When you're near Fire Elementals become enchanted with Blood Magic. AoE increases per base level. Improves Blood Witch skills. Adds 2 missiles to magic missiles. Increases bonus defense from Balefire by 33%. Adds a Blood Star per cast of Bloodstorm. Increases area of effect of Lava Pit by 0.7 yards. Max base level of 9. Ooh, so Bloodzon's is going to be a lot more powerful now. And it was all in the past, it used to be able to kill Sam anyway. Although I forget if they nerfed Bloodzon by then. They might have. Spellbind no longer increases fire elementals with base levels. Yeah, whatever. War Spirit now adds bonus per base level dependent on devotion. Bow 3 life after kill. Javelin 5% attack speed. Spear 0.5% deadly strike. Storm 50 to max life. Blood 5% bonus defense. Max base level is 5%. Curari damage increased by 5%. Paragon. Ooh, here's a nerf. Vitality per gem reduced by 20% average. Spirit of Vengeance now adds lightning spell damage. Didn't this add lightning spell damage before? Or am I mistaken? I know it added spell damage in the past, but didn't they change this to be beneficial to lightning casters specifically? Someone in the chat will have to let me know if they know offhand. Assassin, innate bloodbath, can now be used with throwing knives. No longer increases prismatic cloak's magic damage reduction. Ninja, blink slightly reduced base range. Domain, new level 5 passive, upgrades blink, enhances blink range, max possible range increased. Base level is 3. Shadow Refuge, now level 10 skill, requires blink, removed self-damage boost, is at no use and could cause confusion. Wait, it actually hurt you? What? Movement bonus moved. Shadow Rush, new level 15, upgrade Shadow Refuge, adds 10% movement speed per base point into Shadow Refuge. Max base level is 6. Perfect Being, now level 20 skill, requires Shadow Refuge. Modified formula to be 40% per plus 1% per base level. Queen of Blades, now level 25 skill, not 15, 25 skill. Fixed missing, increased attack speed bonus on skill description. Shred, new level 50 passive, upgrading Queen of Blades. Queen of Blades becomes a 10-second buff with a 30-second cooldown. All attacks have 30% crushing blow during the short debuff. Attacks 2 extra targets per base level. Max base level is 10. Fire magic and physical, referring to current state of Spirit of Vengeance. Ah, okay. Okay. Throwing, Storm Crows, now level 1 skill. Remove the bonus knives when not struck mechanic. Yeah, that seems a little bit clunky. Increased mana cost, modified knife count scaling, increased base knives. Gains 1 base knife per 2 base levels in addition to knives from soft points. Way of the Spider, now level 5 throwing skill. Still accessible to other builds. Base point now scales with character level to prevent early abuse, but provides extra damage after 110 compared to before. Pierce bonus changed to 5%, 1% per base level. Scorpion Blade now requires level 10, Way of the Spider. Knife count synergy moved to Queen of Blades instead of Maelstrom. Now 100% weapon damage. Fixed a bug that caused it to not receive spell damage bonus since forever ago. Modified damage scaling. Maelstrom, now level 15 skill, requires Stormcrows, slightly increased damage. Witchwind, now a level 25 skill, requires Maelstrom. Weapon damage increased by 33%. Vulnerability duration is now always 4 seconds. This is that one where you throw a thing. It's what Bartuk in Legacy of Blood has. Physical damage penalty cannot be reduced below 5%. Doubled mana cost per level. Broadside, now a level 35 skill, no longer has prerequisites. Base cooldown reduced by 0.4 seconds, becomes 7 seconds at 25. Lethal Incision, now level 40 skill. Toggleable buff that combines your Scorpion Blades into a single deadly knife. Adds 30 to plus 15% total Scorpion Blade damage per base level. Max base level is 10. So basically this is how you would kill single targets with a Scorpion Blade build, in my opinion. Void Gazer, new level 100 passive, requires Witchwind. Adds high magic damage, hit recovery, and movement speeds after you cast Witchwind. Also increases your max chance to block during vulnerability. Maximum base level increases every 5 character levels above 100. So I could see this being a nice glass cannon ability. And this is a lot of shit too. Like, we're only at Assassin, and I'm already seeing a lot of potential in these new new skill trees and with various combinations with the new masteries. Let me scroll down to where I was. Okay, here I was. Noctool, level 1 skill, reduce magic damage at early levels. Did anyone play Claw Sin though? Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember anyone really trying Claw Sin. Way of the Griffin, level 5 claw skill, no longer ultimate. Ah, right, that was the lightning one. Base level bonus scales with character level to prevent early... Okay, same as before. Okay, this is the same as Way of the Spider. No longer adds lightning absorb. Modified damage scaling to fit new level requirements. Now adds lightning spell damage. Shadow Dancer, level 15, base crit chance increased by 6%. No longer adds 2% block chance to Bloodbath. Bat Strike Familiar is no longer slow double health. Base level increases with familiar quality. See Ambush. Okay. Upgrades Bat Strike, low level 40. Increases max familiar count and familiars to per cast to a max of 5. Displays extra information about your bats, such as health and damage. Max base level is 4. Elemental Fangs, new level 30 skill. Allows bat familiars to learn ways in an upscaled way. 40% learn efficiency per base level. Each soft point into any of your ways will be learned as a base level by the minion, multiplied by efficiency, i.e. you have 25 base levels into Way of the Spider and 25 to Assassin skills. Elemental Fangs is maxed. 200% efficiency. Familiars will learn base level 100 Way of the Spider? Oh, Jesus. That sounds really OP. Base levels and ways count towards total damage, pierce, and spell damage. 105 Poison Pierce for base level 100. Also makes familiars inherit Perfect Being and Prismatic Cloak passives. Damn, this sounds like this has some real OP potential here. If I'm reading this right. I hope Dual Claw build to be viable again. Yeah. Too squishy. Yeah, I've seen a few people try it on Sin War in previous versions, and yeah. They had, like, no health. And they would die constantly in Tranathala, too. And it's not a fault of the players. Anathemia, now level 50 skill. Base innate LE damage increased by 5%. Winged Calamity, new level 80 skill. Upgrades Bat Strike. Adds a bat attack skill to your familiars that deal weapon damage in an area. Your familiars also get attack rating, velocity, and global damage reduction per base points. Stronger familiars become fatigued easily and will expire after 30 seconds. Max base level is 10. So basically, you have to constantly resummon these, which, with how OP these could be, that seems like a fairly limited trade. Naginata, also, let me make sure. Okay, everything's fine. Crucify, now in the Naginata tree. Increased mana cost per level. Way of the Phoenix, now a level 5 Nagi skill. Base level bonus now scales with character level to prevent early. Okay, same as before. Laser Blade, now level 10 skill. Increased magic damage bonus by 40%. Now level 15 Barrier Strike. Now level 15 requires Crucify. Weapon damage is now 100%. What was it before? Removed magic crit effect, which wasn't working. Barrier is now closer to your character. Increased magic damage to attack and could be scaled further by 20% per base level. Backstab, now level 25 skill. Requires laser blade and barrier strike. No longer gains attack rating to attack, which is unlisted. Broadside, magic damage synergy, move to execution. Reduce uptime from 1/4 to 1/5. Hades Gate, now level 33, requires barrier strike. Base cooldown is 10 seconds, no longer decreases with base points. now adds fire damage to attack, which improves 16% per base level. Way of the Phoenix increases fire damage. Bloodbath reduces cooldown by 5 seconds. Benefits from Domain. Execution. New level 40 passive skill required. Upgrades Backstab and Broadside. Adds magic damage to Broadside when cloaked. Magic damage increased by 50% per base level. Max base level of 10. Momentum, level 66 passive. Reduces Hades' Gate cooldown by 1 second per base level. So basically, when this is combined with Bloodbath, Hades' Gate will have no cooldown. Max base level of 5. Traps, Subterfuge. Bonus resistances move to new skills. See Forger's Homogeny. New level 80 skill requires Artifice Mastery. Adds up to 25% healing over 5 seconds after being struck. That was the old Artifice Mastery, wasn't it? I think it was. Adds 10% vitality, 50% block speed, and 3% maximum fire cold resist. Max base level is 5. Shockwave Trap, level 1 skill, requires Subterfuge. Increased damage on early levels. Lightning Pierce is 4% per base level, but is no longer capped. Pierce can further be increased by new skills. See Negative Charge. Okay. Negative Charge. New level 40 skill upgrades Shockwave Trap. Adds 7% Lightning Pierce to your traps per base level. Max base level is 8. So that's an extra free 56% Lightning Pierce. Not bad. Catalyst Trap. Now level 10 requires Subterfuge. Incineration Trap. Level 20. Okay. Fire Pierce is no longer capped to 135%. Range is no longer capped at 16 yards. So big boy buff here. Enhanced Contraption. Now new level 60 skill upgrades Catalyst Trap. Reduces chance to hit of enemies inside the trap by 6% per base level. Max base level 5. So you're lowering it by 30%. I'm curious if this also includes untargetable enemies, such as the zombies in Ure. Artifice Mastery requires, a bunch of traps. Healing and flat stats move to, I guess, Forger's Homogeny. Psionics Shuriken Flurry. Slightly increased damage, increased base mana cost. Psionic Scream, now a level 5 skill, requires Shuriken Flurry. Cooldown is now 14 seconds base, minus 4, or 0.4 seconds per base level. No longer has a minimum cooldown. So basically, you invest points in this for no cooldown. Psi Storm, now level 10, requires Psionic Scream. Fix a bug with healing amounts per cast. Healing moved to a new skill, slightly increased mana cost per level. Energize. New level 15 skill upgrades Psi Storm. Heals up to 10% of your max health with every cast. Max base level is 9. So 90% health increase per cast. Singularity removed is now an O skill. Yeah, no one used this. No one used Singularity. Mind Ripple. New level 20 skill requires Energize. Deals magic damage in an area with a small chance to convert enemies. Radius increased every 3 base levels. Max base level is 25. Pinnacle. Now level 30 requires Mind Ripple. No longer adds stamina to base level. Cognition. Level 50 passive. Your cognition is based off the amount of points invested into any mind skill. This includes any psionic skill as well as Prismatic Cloak and Doom. You unlock new upgrades to your skills as you reach a certain amount of cognition. Over 50, Pinnacle adds 100% cognition as stamina. Ooh. 75. Over 75, your Shuriken Flurry receives 0.4% total damage per cognition. Over 100, you have Bloodbath. Oh, so it's just Bloodbath just becomes permanent. Over 125, Mind Ripple now deals 25% extra damage as physical over 150. Perfect Being gains 30% chance to avoid damage, plus 30%. What do you mean over 150? Did they increase the max base level? Max base level is 1. Did they increase the character level over 150? Or is this just to be the same as the rest of them? I would think this should be changed to at 150. Because I know what this is saying. At least I think I do. This would be character level 50, 75, etc. So let me make sure everything's okay. Ooh. I never tried median. Which starter build recommended? I haven't read the patch notes yet, so it's hard for me to say that right now. Just thinking about MSL, I can't just pick a tree knowing that could somehow reach a certain point in the game. Prismatic Cloak. Modified early level damage reduction scaling. Doom, now a level 90 ultimate skill. Reduces enemy magic resistance by 5% at plus 1% per base level. Base bonus works in procs. Ah, okay, that's actually nice. Doubled flat damage taken by enemies. Doubled base point damage synergy. Improved description. Phase bomb. Base LE resistance reduction is now 15%. Gains 1% LE pierce every 3 base levels into waves. Doubled magic damage. Now we're finally on to Barbarian. Let's see how much of this we have to go. I'm just sort of scrolling down quick. Oh my god, this is going to take a while. Well, they weren't kidding when they said this was a big update. Barbarian sped up one-hand attack animations, slow down dual wielding animations. Both can now reach 6 frames. Does anyone I don't think anyone uses dual wield, do they? Sped up two-hand spear animations and block animations. Sped up one-hand casting animations to match dual wield casting. Titan's Fortitude, duration doubled. That's the buff, the innate skill. Nomad. This tree consists of stances, passives, and Wolf Companion related skills. Wolf Companion. Max base level is now 10. Gained extra wolf at base levels 4, 7, and 10. Wolf damage is now increased by 1% per each player level. Hunter's Mark. Okay, new level 10 passive skill upgrades the companion. This is basically what the wolf companions used to do naturally. Curse now may affect. This is basically the same, except bonus damage increased by 150%. Curse may now boost your physical or LE magic damage depending on upgrades. Spirit Guides now level 25 shows stats on tooltip before putting a skill point. Primordial Hunt. New level 30 passive skill upgrades Wolf Companion again. Curse bonus damage half, but now applies fire, lightning, magic damage types instead of physical. So this is if you're an elemental barbarian. Must have a source of each element in order to benefit from the increase. For example, you must have at least 1 damage in all 4 of the above sources, and your damage will increase by 4% the tooltip value. So this is for rainbow builds. Ancient Blood now requires level 5, no longer gives bonus to attack speed, now gives flat attack rating, 100 plus 50 per base level. Mountain King now requires level 20, attribute synergy increased to 2% per base level, up from 1.5. Lion Stance, bonus magic damage increased by 28%. Physical resist penalty now caps at 10%, down from 15, so this is a major buff. Snake Stance, damage before skill 28 halved, after skill 28 reduced by 75%. Damage synergy per base levels increased by 108%. I can't tell if this is an overall nerf or not. I mean, obviously the skill level reduction is something, but damage synergy per base level increased by that much. Change was made to reduce the impact of pre-buffs and endgame, no difference during progression. Wolf Stance, weapon damage, physical damage, scaling reduced from 12 by 9 divided by level to 10 plus 1 divided by level. Oh, okay, I see. Now adds 14% physical damage per base level. Change was made to reduce impact of pre-buffs and endgame. Crushing Blow bonus now 1% per base level, down from 1.5. Crushing Blow is kind of a whatever attribute since they made it not affect bosses anymore. Earthshaker, physical melee skill tree. Earthquake, reworked, now unleashes a tremor in the earth that produces an aftershock. Tremor is 70% weapon damage, aftershock is 140% weapon damage. The delay between both stages is 1.4 seconds. The skill also adds flat physical damage to your attacks. The bonus damage increases with base levels and your weapon physical damage bonuses. Thunderslam now requires level 10. Weapon damage doubled to 100%. Cooldown is 12 seconds. Stun duration is 2 seconds. No longer scales with skill levels. Max base level is 1. Okay, you never would want to put more than 1 point in Thunderslam anyway. Upheaval, new level 15 passive skill, upgrades Thunderslam, adds bonus physical damage. The bonus damage increases with base levels and your weapon physical damage bonuses. Max base level is 5. I'm not sure why you would invest in this unless the damages are massive. Leap, new level 15 warp skill, allows you to jump over enemies. Cooldown is 2 seconds, does not scale with other skills. Base level is 1. So this is the leap from Vanilla D2, I think. Heart of Stone, level 20 passive skill. Only allows melee summoning buff debuff. You cannot learn Whirlwind if you have this skill and vice versa. You deal no fire, cold, lightning damage. 50% of your weapon physical damage bonuses are added as Crushing Blow. 50% of your weapon physical damage bonuses are added as a percentage bonus to attack rating. Ooh. So if you stack a bunch of damage, you can get a bunch of attack rating for free. That is actually nice. Shower of Rocks, now level 25, greatly increased the number of hits per use. Weapon damage increased to 160%. So Shower of Rocks might actually be a viable skill now, main skill. Duration increased by 50%. Cooldown increased to 2 seconds, up from 1%. Max base level is 1. Okay, actually, maybe not. We'll have to see on that one. Aftermath. New level 50 passive skill. Upgrade Shower of Rocks. Percentage of your total strength, max 15. That is magic damage to Shower of Rocks. This bonus damage increases with base levels and weapon physical damage bonus. Wind Carver, the Whirlwind Barb. Whirlwind focus skill tree. Whirlwind renamed from Wind form, now requires level 1. Weapon damage increased to 150%, up from 100%. Remove poison damage. Yeah, because that did not really matter. Now enabled attack on attack procs to trigger from your offhand weapon in addition to your main. Adds up to 40% weapon physical damage bonus to Whirlwind attacks per base level. Precision. New level 10 passive skill, upgrades Whirlwind, adds 60% bonus to attack rating to Whirlwind per base level, max base level is 5. Savagery, new level 20 passive skill, upgrades Whirlwind, adds 4% deadly strike to attacks during Whirlwind per base level, max base level is 5. Stone Skin, level 30 passive skill, upgrades Whirlwind, adds 40% bonus defense during Whirlwind per base level. Max base level is 5. Lifestealer. New 40 skill. Whirlwind attacks restore percentage of max life. Base amount is 1%, increased by 16% per base level. Base level 5, so that's up to 80%. Gale Force, new level 50 skill, adds area of effect splash damage to whirlwind attacks. Yes! This is why I hated wind form in old Median before even making up videos on YouTube. Deals 80% weapon damage in a 2.6 yard area, increasing by 0.66 yards per 2 base levels. You must create Sunstone of the Twin Seas to unlock this skill. Max base level is 15. Okay, now I'm stuck between Whirlwind Barb and Spears on. Melee Spears on. Executioner, level 60, upgrades Gale Force, only applies if you are wielding a two-handed weapon. Increases Gale Force area by 2.6 yards. Adds 30 to 40 bonus physical damage to Gale Force, which increases with weapon physical damage bonuses. This almost feels like Spear Barb again. Before we continue, I must do that check. Everything's alright there. Permission to move into Vanilla D2 is worth it to try it all. Yeah, as far as I know, everyone goes for two-hand. Suppose patch notes suggest that DW was OP. I'm gonna assume so. Well, I mean, if you look at what TV4 MXL did with dual wield, yeah, I can see that. Elementalist, elemental melee skill tree, requires a melee elemental base. You cannot dual wield. Conflux, renamed from Blood Hatred. Duration increased to 10 minutes. Only use of melee, no longer has life drain. Now reduces your weapon physical damage by 10% per character level. Okay, so, well, I mean, this actually doesn't matter if it's, if you have to have a elemental base weapon, because you rely on elemental damage to do your killing. Iron Spiral requires level 3, weapon damage increased to 90%, cooldown reduced by 20% per base level. So I feel this is almost the same, except you don't need as many points to invest in this. Elemental Overload. New level 15 passive skill. Increases fire, lightning, cold res by 3% after using a signature kill. You become overloaded for 20 seconds after using a signature skill. Signature skills cannot be used while under the effect of Elemental Overload. Max base level is 1. New level 15 signature skill. Thunderstorm. Electrocutes large area around you, dealing 150% weapon damage. While overloaded, you gain 5% movement speed per base level. Base level 5. Deep Freeze. New level 15 signature skill. Attack which freezes a small concentrated area, dealing heavy single target damage. While overloaded, you gain 3% innate LA damage per base level. Max base level is 5. Purifying Flame. New level 30 skill. Buff which regenerates percentage of max life and increases poison length reduction. While overloaded, you gain 3% max life per second and 6% poison length reduction per base level. So up to 15% max life per second. Ooh. Oh, okay, so I see what this means now. I actually didn't understand what this means, but you have to use one of these and then use something else for this to take effect. Prematorial Strike. New level 40 skill. Now may only be used while overloaded. Okay, so you would probably use this then. Deals 140% weapon damage and multi-hits your primary target. Additionally, deals damage in a large wave to your right. Percentage of your total strength and dexterity are added as magic damage to this attack. Magic damage is 5% of total strength and dexterity per base level. Max base level is 5. Warmonger. Range damage tree. Okay, so this is the throwing bar, basically. Snake bite. Base level damage increased. Scaling increased by 30% to compensate for lack of skill cap growth compared to before. Damage half, but now scales with character level, up to 110% extra at level 110. Change was made to avoid overwhelming damage in early game. Stampede now requires level 5. Violence, new level 6 passive skill, upgrades Stampede. Reduces cooldown of Stampede by 20% per base level. Adds bonus physical damage to Stampede, up to 4 to 6 per base level, depends on character level. Base level 5. Rebound requires level 20, now starts at 15 targets and gains 1 per base level. Target seek range no longer capped. I'm assuming Rebound is still garbage, though, because it requires you to hit a solid object, or something the game considers a solid object to work. Maybe I'll be wrong and this will actually be good, but... Fortress now requires level 25. Fixed a bug where the client would shoot missiles more rapidly than the server. Now summons 4 towers instead of 8, which spawn closer to you, no longer locks out range skills while active. Projectiles are now throwing axes instead of arrows. Projectile speed increased by 7%. Range now scales with base levels instead of points in Wolf Companion. Range growth reduced to better concentrate on targets near the Barbarian. Bonus from Gladiator Dominance increased by 50%. Weapon damage increased from 50 to 120%. Base duration increased by 100%. Duration gain per skill level is now 0.12 seconds. Cooldown is equal to 50% of duration. This skill is usable under melee-only restrictions. Neat. Citadel. New level 30 skill upgrades Fortress. Increases max block chance by 2% per base level. Increases max block chance by an additional 2% per base level while Fortress is active. Max base level is 5. Screaming Eagle. Now requires level 30. Base duration is now 5 seconds, up from 2. Duration scaling has been halved. Fixed a tooltip error in the duration synergy. Increased mana cost growth slightly. This skill is usable under melee-only restrictions. Overkill. Now requires level 35. Weapon damage increased from 120 to 130. Shaman. Spirit Reeve. New level 20 active skill. A melee attack which unleashes a long duration damage over time effect. Deals 333% damage of combined spirits. Total physical damage per second as magic. Duration cooldown 8 seconds. Has 15% chance to be usable after an ancient spirit death. Does not scale with skill levels. Max base level is 1. Reward Rune Master. Base defense bonus multiplier 5%. 1% defense bonus per multiplier per base level. Nephilim Spirit, now 2 to 4% of base strength or dexterity per base level, up from 2 to 3. Immortal, now 2% plus extra 2% while avoid while attacking or standing still per base level. Clarified on tooltip that it applies to whirlwinding too. Alright, now we're at the Druid stage, and we're already almost 2 hours into this. Harvest. Healing growth per base level halved. Description now shows, okay. Improved early level damage scaling. Infected Roots. Now a level 5 skill. Requires Harvest. Adjusted damage for new level requirement. Increased late game damage. Bark Skin. Now a level 10 skill. Requires Harvest. Stats are no longer capped and no longer increased with soft points. Increased life defense bonuses per base levels. Same. Okay. Max level increases indefinitely every 4 character levels. Elven Song. Now level 15 skill. Requires Bark Skin. Health per base level increased from 6 to 15%. Harvesters, now a level 20 skill, requires bark skin. Now gain an additional minion every 3 base levels. Venomous aura now obtained from upgrade, reduced AI delay. Bloom. New level 25 skill. Okay, this is probably the Venomous aura. Yeah. Adds 20% plus 12% of minion resistances as poison spell damage per base level. Adds 10% plus 5% movement speed per base level. Increasing your minion resistance above 75% will still continue to scale poison spell damage. Max base level 11. Growth. Requires Harvesters, level 35 passive. Adds 10% plus 5% minion resistances per base level. Receives 3% minion resistances per point in Vine Companion. Max base level of 7. I just want to see how far this goes. So a lot of these changes are just character class stuff. Anyway, Werebear form. Slow and health bonuses are obtained from an upgrade. Physical damage bonus per base level increased from 6 to 8%. Shapeshift cooldown reduced to 2 seconds. Rend no longer has cooldown. Increased early level damage. Level 4. Bestial potency. Level 5 skill upgrades Werebear. Adds 10% slow target per base level. Increases life based on character level in bear form. Max base level is 5. Okay, so obviously you max this. Wildfire. Level 10 skill requires Rend. Modified description to show total damage rather than per frame. Primal Dominance. New level 15 skill upgrades Werebear. Adds 50% of vitality as attack rating per base level. Adds 25% plus 10% hit recovery speed per base level. So basically this is the same as the other Werebear skill, which name eludes me. Idol of Slosglen. Now level 20 requires Rend, lasts 40 seconds but no longer emits shockwaves until upgraded. Base cooldown reduced to 8 seconds, 15 base level, reduced mana cost. Ancestral Protection. New level 25 skill upgrades Idol, adds up to 30% character defense per point into Idol of Slosglen. Max base level 5. Hunger is now a level 30 skill upgrade. Increased base lifesteal to 7%. Attack rating. Hunger, that was the one I was thinking about. Attack rating, hit recovery moved to upgrade. Max base level is 20. Ancestral Force, level 40 skill, upgrades Idol. Allows using Idol the traditional way, adds periodic shockwaves during stone form, reduces duration of buff by 90%, base level 1. Max base level 1. Werewolf form. Base mana drain in wolf form is halved, deadly strike bonus moved to upgrade, increased casting speed, shapeshift cooldown reduced to 2 seconds. Chance to avoid damage is now 10% plus 1% per base level. Okay, Mana Pulse, max level is 1. Harbinger, level 5 skill. Increase flat cold damage in early and late game. 10% bonus cold damage per base level. Ceaseless Fury upgrades Harbinger. Reduces Harbinger cooldown by 1/3 of a second per base level. So basically this would allow you to spam Harbinger, I'm guessing. Feed the Pack. Reduce life after each kill. Reanimate chance no longer capped. Ooh, so unlimited farming here, I'm thinking. Twisted Claw, level 15. Feral Escalation. New level 25 skill requires Mana Pulse. At the cost of doubling your mana drain, you become greatly empowered. Adds 5% plus additional 5% Deadly Strike per base level. Max base level is 7, so up to 40% Deadly Strike, I'm thinking. Howl of the Spirits. New level 50 skill requires Feed the Pack. Feral Shout that empowers yourself and nearby wolves. Nearby wolf reanimates receive 100% Crushing Blow Your cold and damage and pierce. Increase movement, speed, velocity, and resistance. You receive 25% cold pierce. Bonus cold damage from wolf skills is doubled. Your mana drains faster. Has a cooldown of 30 seconds. Duration increases by 1% or 1 second per base level. Max base level is 10. That sounds really awesome, actually. It's time for another check. Okay. Were-Owl form. This is the one that killed the trap rat. I should totally play the sad violin meme. Because trap rat is now officially dead. Increased crushing blow by 6%. Improved hit recovery and block frames. Base block chance now obtainable from upgrade. Shapeshift cooldown reduced to 2 seconds. Thorn Wall, renamed Earth Talons. Level 3 skill requires Were-Owl form. Increased individual thorns duration by 20%. Removed annoying cast sound. Reduced mana costs. Charged Talons, new level 5 skill. Upgrades Earth Talons. Adds lightning damage to Earth Talons. Max base level is 6. Ferocity, now a level 10 skill. Base weapon damage bonus increased to 15%. Birdstorm, renamed from Quillstorm. Now level 15, requires Earth Talons. Egg Trap, level 30 skill, requires Birdstorm. Trap duration before explosion reduced to 3 seconds, down from 5. Now has 2-second cooldown, greatly increased AoE. Increased weapon damage by 25%, now deals lightning damage. Greatly increased lightning damage added to attack. Now gains 12% increased lightning damage per base level. Steel Wings, new level 30 skill, upgrades Were-Owl form. Adds 1% base chance to block. Adds 4% maximum block chance per base level. Max base level 5. Progony's Blessing. Upgrades Egg Trap, level 40 skill. Egg Traps empower you upon hatching. While empowered, you receive Charged Talons, lightning damage doubled, 1 extra Birdstorm target. Egg Trap has no cooldown, lasts for 3 seconds, plus 0.5 seconds per base level. Max base level is 7. So 6.5 seconds maximum, so you'll want to keep laying eggs. Hunter, Steady Shot, max base level is 20. Cascade, max base level is 20. Bonus damage per base level is 9% and not capped. Heartseeker, level 10. Bonus fire damage is now 9% and not capped. Max base level is 20. Erupting Strike, new level 15 skill. Upgrades Steady Shot, Cascade, and Heartseeker. Increases fire damage of all hunter skills by 20% per base level. Maximum base level is 5. Bear Companion, now a level 20 skill. Requires Erupting Strike. Heart of the Pack is now obtained from upgrade. Max base level is now 20. Heart of the Pack, new level 25 skill. Upgrades Bear Companion. Allows your bear to cast Heart of the Pack on attacks. Heart of the Pack effect prevents steady aim from being consumed and heals the party. This is basically the same as it was before. Each point in Bear Companion increases duration by 5%. Okay, chance to cast is 5%, plus 1% per base level. Max base level is 4. Pathfinder, level 35 skill, requires Heart of the Pack. Only works while using a bow or crossbow. What was Pathfinder before? Wasn't it something else? I forget. Tracking, level 70 skill. Requires 60 base levels invested in Hunter Tree to put points. Your enemy fire resistance also reduces enemy lightning cold resistance, so basically this is same as it was before. Base level of 1. Seer, aka Caster, Ember Spirit, now gains an additional spirit every 7 base levels, down from 8. Hunting Banshee, level 8 skill, has no requirements. Now gains an additional spirit every 10 base levels, down from 13. Increased early damage scaling. Pagan Rites, level 12 skill, no requirements. No longer passive due to glitches with D2 auras, is now a castable skill. like it was in the past. Added cooldown. Spiritual Alignment. New level 15 skill. Requires Ember Shot and Hunting Banshee. Adds 10% fire cold damage every 2 base levels. Max level increases indefinitely every 4 character levels. Rain of Fire. Level 20 skill. Requires Ember Spirit and Pagan Rites. Increased early damage scaling, duration increased by 14%, projectile explosion radius reduced by 33%, thus making it a better single target skill. Hurricane, level 30, has no requirements. Lifesteal is now obtained from Solidified Wind upgrade. Increased early damage scaling. Solidified Wind, level 40 skill, increases Hurricane. Adds 4% lifesteal to base level to Hurricane, max skill level of 4%. Reward, Mythal, doubled cooldown reduction per level, no longer has a minimum. Max level changed to 10. Symbiosis works at full efficiency from first level, now scales like other Black Road skills, with a max level 15, extendable up to 20. Now gains 1% base avoid per base level instead of 0.75 per point into Elven Song. Survival Instinct, reduced spell focus bonus. Fairy Fire, reduced weapon damage. Weapon damage increased by 35%. Vine Companion, now Org grants 5% plus 1% life per base level, no longer has Devotion bonus, no longer reduces enemy poison resistance, increased Petrifies physical pierce from 10 to 15%, increased Petrify movement penalty from 35% to 30%, Petrify no longer reduces enemy defense. So what do we have next? We have Necromancer, we have Paladin, and we have Sorceress. Okay. Death Speaker, Embalming. Base mana regen is now 5%. Now it's 50% plus 6% minion health per base level. Mold the Flesh. New level 5 skill upgrades Embalming. Embalming's minion life bonus affects you. Efficiency increases by 10% per base level. Max base level is 4. Sacrifices, new level 10 skill. Slightly increased cooldown reduction per base level. Optimized skill mechanics to reduce performance impact. Number of corpses unchanged. Arrangement is now circular. Death Ward no longer receives synergies from Resurgent Soul Bond. Now receives 10% defense per base level and 6% per level. Base avoid chance increased to 5%. Famine is now a level 20 skill, requires sacrifices. Life steal per base level increased from 1% to 2%. Increased weapon physical damage bonus from strength by 25%. Max level is 15. Bane is now level 30, no prerequisites. Death Pact is level 37, requires Death Ward. Modified defense scaling, max base level 15. Summon, increased damage of all after skill level 16 of all minions by 20%. Blood Skeleton now needs to be raised from the dead. So this right here completely kills the chance of this to be viable in the Dimensional Labyrinth, because if you go down the Dimensional Labyrinth enough, you can no longer do anything with corpses. And I assume this would apply to sacrifices as well. Or is now obtained from an upgrade. Nighthawks, now level 6 skill. Base pack size increased from 2 to 3. No longer increases Hawk cast per every 10 base levels, but can be upgraded. Increased mana cost. Abyss Knight, level 12 skill. Damage reduction effect now received from upgrade. Reduced visual clutter, increased AoE, reduced mana cost per level. Iron Golem, level 20 skill. Regen effect now received from upgrade. Resurgence, level 25 skill. Now adds minion attack rating per skill level. Grim Vision, new level 30 skill. Upgrades Blood Skeleton. Provides your skeletons an offensive aura. Base points increase physical weapon damage, crushing blow, and radius. Max base level is 10. Violent Immolation, new level 40 skill. Upgrades Nighthawks. Increase your Nighthawks per cast by 1 every 6 base levels. Adds 24% plus 12% damage to Hawks per base level. Max base level is 12, so that is around 160% in total, I believe. Abyssal Guard. New level 50 skill. Upgrades Abyss Knights. Gives your knights physical and elemental damage reduction. Additionally provides them with 22% plus 3% slow target per base level. Max base level is 8, so that's nearly 50%. Metal Solace upgrades Iron Golem. Golem recovers 100% health over 30 seconds. Each base point reduces length by 1 second, improving regen. Max base level is 15, so you can recover all its health in 15 seconds with this. I just want to see how much there is left for... Cool. Melee, Parasite, level 1 skill. Reduce base target seek range can be upgraded, not dated. Increased magic damage in early levels. Increased weapon damage by 10%. So this is going to be a buff, I believe. Carnage, level 5 skill requires Parasite. Base cooldown 2 seconds. Radius reduced by 18%. Increased base AR bonus to improve it in early game. Onslaught, level 10 skill upgrades Carnage. Reduces cooldown by 1/4 of a second per base level. Base level is 8. Okay, so this is so basically this makes Carnage have no cooldown. Angel of Death requires Carnage, doubled weapon damage and half poison damage. Same poison as before. Removed useless physical damage bonus to attack. Doubled attack rating per bonus level. Deathlord requires Angel of Death. Block stat bonuses are moved to new passive skill. You can no longer use summons while buffed except special summons. Demonic Commune upgrades Deathlord. Provides half freeze duration. This is, of course, pointless if you have cannot be frozen, but okay. Adds 10% movement speed per base level during Deathlord. Max base level is 6, so you move faster, which I can't argue is helpful. Omnious Vigor. New level 40 passive requires Deathlord. Gain up to 1% block chance, 100 strength and dexterity if you have 30 points invested in the skill. No longer requires to be in Deathlord form in order to prevent gear glitching. Max base level 5. Veracity. New level 50 skill upgrades Parasite. Increases magic damage by 25% per base level. Increases target seek range by 1 yard per base level. Max base level is 8. Crossbow, improved attacking animation. Now can reach 7 frames per attack. Flametail shot. Now gains an extra bolt per 6 levels and can be upgraded. Gains physical damage per skill level. Death shards. Now a level 3 skill. Requires Flametail shot. Sacrifice leech bonus synergy removed. Alchemical provision. New level 5 skill. Upgrades Flametail shot. Increases rocket count by 2 per base level. Max level of 1 increases every 25 character levels. I assume this would also work with Hwayne and Twacha. Carrion Drain. New level 10 skill. Upgrades Death Shards. Adds lifesteal based on base levels and character level. Max base level is 6. Dragonfire Oil. Now a level 15 skill requires Flametail shot. Increased base damage and early level damage scaling. Now gains 15% bonus damage per base level in any crossbow skill. Synergy now scales with character level 2. Even more damage at 110 plus. Widowmaker. Requires death shards at level 20. Conversion to magic reduced from 260% from 50%. Reduced base mana cost, slightly increased mana cost per level. Increased magic damage scaling on early levels. weapon damage increased from 55% to 60%. I want to say this has been buffed overall, though I can't quite tell. Frag shot. Now a level 30 skill, requires dragon fire oil. Weapon damage increased to 40%. Increased fire. Added fire damage to attack. That, I want to say, is a nice buff. Ignite upgrades frag shot. Increases fire damage added to attack by 50% per base level. Max level increases by 5 base levels in fragmentation shot or dragon fire oil. Max base level is 1. Malice, Death Ripple, renamed from Boneyard, modified graphics and mechanics. Increased early level damage in AoE. Nightwalker, level 5 skill, requires Death Ripple. Malice, skill damage now 10%, 4% per base level. Poison, length reduction now 4% per base level. Dream Eater, now level 10 skill, requires Nightwalker, modified cooldown scaling. Terror debuff now obtained from upgrade. Lifesteal now scales with character level, added to tooltip. Slightly increased base damage and damage after skill level 28. Terror, new level 20 skill, upgrades Dream Eater, debuffs your main target and terrifies it. While terrified, enemy movement speed is reduced by 60% and poison resist by 30%. Lasts 0.6 seconds plus 0.3 seconds per base level. Occult Path, new level 30 skill, requires Nightwalker and 20 points into Malice Tree. Adds 40% cast speed, max base level is 1. Rotting Flesh has been removed. Yeah, no one used Rotting Flesh. The delay was just way too much to consider using that shit. Exile, new level 30 skill, requires Occult Path. Cursed enemies are exiled from their group and will attack each other. Increased duration per level and range per 2 base levels. 8-second cooldown, reduced by 1 second per 10 base levels. Max base level is 25. Pestilence, now a level 40 skill, requires Occult Path. Now scales from energy rather than strength and dexterity. Increased damage, especially in early levels, now lasts 10 seconds plus 0.8 seconds per base level. Banish, new level 60 passive, requires Nightwalker and 60 points into the Malice Tree. Passive effect of a non-boss enemy is terrified, exiled, and poisoned. Kill it. Ooh. Back, base level 1. Apprenticeship. Now level 1 passive, renamed from Totemic Mastery, allows you to learn totem skills. Increases totem life and avoid chance per base level. Fireheart Totem, allow level 1 skill, increase fire damage. Okay, I'm not going to read. Requires apprenticeship, because we all know that. Storm Eye Totem, discharge. Skill mechanics have been improved. No longer has ND, making it both good against groups and single targets. Increased damage, increased size of Nova. Frostclaw Totem, damage reduced by 16%. Dark Gathering, level 15 skill, increases totem count of every totem by 1 every 5 base levels, adds 10% cast rate, max base level is 10. Dirge, level 30 skill, requires Dark Gathering. Totems receive chance to cast their spell with double damage when they die. Okay. Also adds chance for totems to cast empowered skills on Death Blow. On Death, chance increases by 5% per base level. On kill, chance increases by 2% per base level. Maximum base level is 10. Soul Bond, now level 40, requires Dirge. You cannot put points into this if you have Soul Chain. No longer increases max level of totems. Totem-based spell damage bonus reduced to 10%. Reduced healing after each kill. While this skill is max, Dirge chance effect becomes doubled. Soul Chain requires Dirge. It's the opposite. You cannot put points in a skill if you have Soul Bond or selected more than one totem skill. Increases max level of your selected totem skill by 1 per base level. Increases Dark Gathering max level by 1 per base level. While the skill is max, you can summon 2 totems per cast, adds an extra bonus depending on your chosen element. Burning Chain adds life regen based on Fireheart level. Frozen Chain adds flat defense based on Frostclaw totem level. Magnetic Chain adds attack, movement speed, and hit recovery speeds based on Storm Eye totem base level. Max base level of 10. Talon's Hold no longer receives synergy from sacrifices. Not that you had the skill points for that anyway. Modified Reanimate scaling to 1% per base level. Now reanimates Skeleton Warriors. Graveyard now gains additional missile every 6 base levels, down from 8. This seems irrelevant because I don't see anyone maxing this anyway. Veil King, simplified description, learns all new summon tree skill upgrades. Now reduces your minion count by only 2 instead of 50%. Jin, reduced excess visual effects. Gonna check again. Hi, Sun Jai01. Sorry if you posted that a while ago and I just didn't see it, but as you can see, I can't see chat and Changelog at the same time with how I have this set up. What do I think of Bloodzon? The Bloodzon is buffed quite a bit. And I always found Trap Rat model to be hideous. Please tell me there's a flying owl in its place. I think there's pictures of it on the Discord. And in the Median XL trailer, too. I'd have to look, but I think there are. Yeah. There's a single monitor peasant. That is correct. That is correct. I am a single monitor peasant for sure. Mana, Paladin, general. Mana per energy increased by 33%. Paladin influence trees. Streamlined and combined into one tree called Aspects. Contains Euphoria, Demiurge. Okay, so basically this contains all of the... Basically this contains all of the exclusive skills from both trees. Wait. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of something else. Contains Euphoria, Demiurge, Rapture, Sacred Armor, and Scourges. All Paladin builds can now access all these skills simultaneously if they wish. The power level of the buff skills has been reduced slightly to compensate for the fact that they may now all be active at once. Neutral Paladin now has its own tab, Nephilim. Placing points in Nephilim skills will disable all holy and unholy skills and vice versa. Aspects, Euphoria, has been renamed Elemental Wisdom, now requires level 1. Improved Consolidated Description now reduces enemy elemental resistances by 1% per base level, down from 1.5. Demiurge has been renamed Veneration of Justice, now requires level 10. Improved Description to show attribute gain before putting points in the skill. Reduced stat gain to 30 per base level, down from 35 per base level. Duration reduced slightly. Rapture has been renamed to Spark of Hope, requires level 20. Speed gain per base level reduced from 3 to 2%, slightly reduced speed gain from skill levels. Fixed a bug which caused movement speed bonus to not benefit from the base level bonus. Sacred Armor, now called Ward of Fate, requires level 30. Regeneration of bonus per skill level reduced by 10%. Flat defense gain per base level reduced from 750 to 650. Duration reduced slightly. No longer gets 6% movement speed bonus, up to 100% per base level in Rapture. See below. Valiance, level 40, passive skill upgrades Sacred Armor, adds 10% movement speed per base level while characters using Ward of Fate. Max base level is 10. Scourge has been renamed Servants of Valor, requires level 50. Minion cap reduced to 5. Base servants are now 2. Ooh. Increased life by 33%, reduced performance impact to minions, and cleaned up the skill tooltip. You can now gain Now summon one servant per 2 base levels. Remove stat gains based on holy, unholy skill points. Not that many people played Summoned In anyway, but this, I feel, kills the chance of making a Summoned In. But again, like, only a few people have ever done that, so it's not really a big deal. It's not like it killed Unholy Melee, for example. So, Conclave. Level 60 passive skill, upgrades Servants of Valor. Increases maximum number of servants you can have by 1 per 2 base levels. So it goes from 5 to 10, which is still not that great. Adds minion life per skill level and 15% per base level. Okay, well that's at least beefy. Look, where was I? Yeah, maximum base level 10. Fervor, new level 70 passive skill, upgrades Servants of Valor. Adds 10% minion damage and 3% per skill level. Adds 6% of total servant physical damage as extra magic damage to their attacks per base level. Max base level is 20. I still want to say this heavily nerfs the Summoned In, though I could be wrong on that. I don't know, I'd have to have like a side-by-side comparison. Templar, Retaliate, no longer converts 10% physical damage of magic. Weapon damage increased to 100%. Knockback chance halved to 50%. Bonus damage now fire instead of magic. Level 1 values now 5%, up from 1%. Counterattack upgrades Retaliate. Retaliate bonus fire damage increased for 5 seconds after taking weapon damage. Fire damage is increased by 30% per base level. Max base level of 4. Divine Judgment requires level 10. Reduced duration by 20%. Skill is much better against moving targets. Increased damage by 16%. Radius reduced by 11%. Consecration upgrades Divine Judgment. Reduces Divine Judgment's cooldown by 20% per base level. Max base level is 5. Dragonheart, renamed to Lionheart, now requires level 20. Now only allows melee, buff, and summoning. Vitality bonus depends on strength or dexterity, whichever is higher instead of strength alone. Wouldn't you still max strength, though? Unless I'm mistaken. Simplified skill by removing self-increasing skill cap for points in other honor skills. Increased stats gained or granted per skill level and base level to compensate. Weapon physical damage bonus 12% per base level, up from 9%. Defense bonus 18% per level, up from 15%. 10% base LE damage, up from 0%. 1.2% per base level, up from 1%, no longer has cap. Half the weapon physical damage bonus has been moved to Dragon's Blessing. Plague is removed. Holy Fire, now new level 30 passive skill, adds fire damage to your weapon and poison length reduction. At poison length reduction, bonus is 5%, 1% per skill level. Fire damage scaling has increasing returns with base level and character level. If you take this passive, you cannot deal poison damage. Holy Fire is not necessary to learn Dragonheart or Colosseum. Colosseum increased bonus fire damage gained from 1% per skill level to 2%. Weapon damage doubled to 100%. Base cooldown changed to 7 seconds. Cooldown reduces by 0.2 seconds per base level, uncapped. Level 20 base. The Holy Caster archetype incarnation. The Holy Caster archetype has been greatly overhauled and improved. Drakemaw, Frozen Breath, Incarnation have been removed. Dragon Jaws. New spell replacing Drakemaw requires level 1. Monstrous Fangs devour enemies in a medium area around your cursor. Deals physical damage. Damage scales much more rapidly with current mana instead of energy and spell focus. Physical magic spell damage will still affect the damage of this ability. Apex Predator upgrades Dragon Jaws. Grants life leech to your weapon attacks and Dragon Jaws damage. Gives 25% life leech to weapon at max level. That's really nice. Gives 8% life leech to Dragon Jaws at max level, not affected by difficulty penalty. Dragon Jaws life leech additionally scales with fire spell damage. Requires 4 points to max. Solar Flare now requires level 10. No longer damages enemies under your feet, no longer needed to use other active skills. Thank God. Thank God. Now damages enemies in a large area around you and debuffs their damage and attack rating. Now deals fire and physical damage with scales much more rapidly with current mana instead of energy and spell focus. Fire and physical magic spell damage will still affect the damage of this ability. Adds +1 to all skills while active. Base B buff debuff duration is now 8 seconds and increases with 1 second per base level. Scion. New level 20 passive skill. Upgrade Solar Flare. Only works while Solar Flare is active. Adds 100% of your current mana as attack rating at max level. Adds 4% of your current mana... No. I already read that. 4% fire spell damage per annihilation base level at max level. Adds 4% physical magic spell damage per Dragon Jaws level at max level. Requires 4 points to max. See how much more of this we got. Where was I? Dragonbone Armor. Now level 15 buff. Skill. Grants physical damage absorption. Lasts until absorption amount is exceeded and has a cooldown of 20 seconds. Absorption amount scales with maximum mana, character level, skill level, base level, and physical spell damage. While this skill reduces your mana leech 2% to 2% plus 0.25% per skill level and mana regen 5% plus 2% per skill level. Annihilation, renamed from Dragon Worms, requires level 20. Now has cooldown of 5 seconds, worm lifetime is 8 seconds. Max worm count is now 3 and no longer increases with base levels. Added an extra fireball per worm attack. Increased fireball AoE by 56%. Damage now scales much more rapidly with current mana instead of energy and spell focus. Fire spell damage will still affect damage of this ability. Damage at skill level 1 increased by 30%. Worms no longer inherit your fire pierce. Instead, they start with 40% and gain 6% per base level, maximum of 160. So this is a massive buff. Dragon's Breath. That new level 40 curse skill reduces enemy fire resistance by 40% and fire damage by 20% at max level. Base duration is 10 seconds, base area is 4.6 yards. Curse duration and area increases with fire spell damage. Max base level is 15. Combustion. New level 75 passive skill upgrades Annihilation. When maxed, adds 1 extra projectile per 100% physical magical spell damage. When maxed, adds 20% explosion radius per 50% physical magic spell damage. Hang on. Okay. Nephilim, Vessel of Retribution, improved early game damage progression. Base targets are now 2, up from 1. Reduced hit rate by 25%, increased damage by 50%. So each hit does more damage, but there's less hits. So I would say this is a buff. Vessel of Judgment, renamed from Vessel of Justice. Was this the old name for Vessel of... Was this the old name used in Ultimative? I want to say it was. Improved early game damage progression. Base targets are 2 up... Okay, same thing. Life and Death requires level 10. Damage bonus are now more... Damage bonus now more front-loaded to skill level 1. Solus and Equinox, same thing. Fixed a bug where damage to this skill didn't increase absolution damage. Absolution requires level 15, 60% of Vessel of Judgment damage. Yeah, it was the old name in Ultimative, I think. And 120% of Vessel of Retribution damage per hit. Damage modifiers were reduced due to the damage buffs of the vessels themselves. Reverence, 25 passive skill, upgrades Wards of Fate and Veneration of Justice. Sets the duration of these skills to 20 seconds, old neutrality bonus. Base level is 1. Ritualist. Grim Presence no longer gives fire damage to Vessel of Justice. Cold damage to Divine Apparition. And 10% multiplier per base level have been moved to Frostbite. See below. Frostbite, new level 90 skill, upgrades Divine Apparition. Adds cold damage to Divine Apparition. Divine Apparition level 28 required to max this. Additionally, it increases cold damage by a multiplier equal to 15% per base level. Max base level is 20. Lemures requires level 3. Ghost collisions now deal damage in a small AoE instead of being single target. Damage increased by 10%. So this is a major buff for Lemures. Possession now gives 20% bonus attack rating per base level instead of ignore target's defense. This is more useful than ignore target's defense because you need attack rating to hit bosses. So when you need enough attack rating to be able to hit bosses consistently, you can farm mobs without ignore target's defense. So ignore target's defense is totally unnecessary. If ITD worked against bosses, then we could make the argument that this is a nerf, but it never did. It never did in Vanilla D2, so yeah. Yeah, this is actually a nice buff. Transcendence, new level 50 passive skill, upgrades Servants of Valor, adds fire damage to Servants of Valor equal to a portion of their base damage. This bonus damage is increased by your fire spell damage stat and with each base level. Max base level is 5. So with all of these combined, you might actually be able to get some pretty solid damage off of Servants of Valor. I'm not sure, though. Okay, I read that. Mind Flay. Warlock. Added a physical damage component equal to 50% of the lightning one. Damage increased by 40%. Total damage buff 110% per beam. Ouch. Shock now reduces enemy elemental damage by 10% instead of enemy magic resistance. Adds an extra beam per 20 base levels. So each beam is stronger, but you get less beams. So your AoE is a little bit reduced. Confluence. New level 10 passive skill. Upgrades Mind Flay. Adds 1 beam to Mind Flay when you are above 70% of your max life. So this is kind of like Witchblood, except good, I'm thinking. Slayer now requires level 15, has been reworked. Maximum Slayer limit is now 1, down from 5, and shoots 25 times up from 15. Has a 1 second cooldown. Instead of bolts, now electrocutes all enemies in a medium area around itself. Inflicts lightning damage, inheriting all your caster attributes every 0.8 seconds. Damage increased by 204%. Added a synergy of 1% damage per multiplier per base level. So I'm thinking this is a massive buff, because nobody really used Slayer for their actual attack. Unless they wanted to do extra damage to something. Symphony of Destruction now requires level 50. Redesigned as a Slayer upgrade. Now is a passive skill which grants 1 beam to Mind Flay if you're within Slayer's area of effect. So this is like a good version of Catalyst Trap. Sort of. Stormlord requires level 10. Attribute bonus has been halved. Only affect Ritualists. See below. Tainted Blood now requires level 40. Max base level is 15. Stat gains have been increased to compensate. Acumen, level 100 passive skill, upgrades warlock skills, increases mind flay explosion area of effect by 100%, increases stormlord attribute bonus by 100%, regenerates 2% of player max life when within Slayer's area of effect. Max base level is 1. Not bad. Blessed Life no longer increases apple healing duration. Apples should just be removed from the game. If, like, they ruined apples completely when they made it be a fixed duration, or a fixed amount per second instead of 1% per, 1% life per second. So, really, apples should just be removed from the game altogether. Super Beast overhauled the spell damage bonus. Now grants fire and cold spell damage only if you are a ritualist. Now grants lightning and physical magical spell damage if you are a warlock. Spell damage bonus equal to 10% plus 1.5% per point in active skills of your respective tree. Dragon's Blessing now gives 10% weapon physical damage per base level, moved from Lionheart. Resurrection base life bonus now 300%, up from 100%. Alright, so we're at Sorceress now. I'm going to look at this. So many changes. Impossible to see what's going to be viable for the next patch. Yeah, I agree. Melee leech tanks will likely be the way, since things have less damage and more HP, and 20% less damage taken. If I missed a bit, yeah, I believe they get half of reduced target defense, but I don't know whether such a source exists in MXL. I don't think. Sorceress, Arcane Torrent. Damage at level 1 increased by 25%, now requires level 5. Oh, Arcane Torrent. For some reason, I was thinking this was the familiar skill for some reason. Speaking of familiar, Raven Familiar. Movement speed increased by 14%, requires level 20. Spell focus bonus has been moved to symbol of Esu, as arcane spells don't benefit from the stat. Oh yeah, they don't, do they? Mana Sweep. Cooldown doubled. Cooldown reduction per base level doubled. You may not learn the skill if you have any points in any elemental proficiency skills, and vice versa. So I'm thinking this is essentially a devotion skill here. Arcane Fury. New level 100 arcane proficiency buff. Requires 50 points in other arcane tree skills. Duration is 10 seconds. Cooldown is 30 seconds. When activated, it increases your energy and maximum mana by 20%. If Mana Shield is also used up, it will absorb 95% of all incoming damage and drain 80% less mana. Fire. Flame Front. Also, I want to say... Okay, I'm just looking through to see how much is left. There's a fair bit left. But we're getting there. Oh wait, that's too far, that's too far. Fire. Flame Front. Starts with 3 firebolts up from 2, now gains an extra firebolt every 10 skill levels, up to a maximum of 6. I assume that one, Sacred Unique, provided it still exists, still has the double, how's it called? The double Flame Fronts modifier. Incineration. New level 15 passive upgrades Flame Front, decreases maximum firebolts from 1 by 1, increases maximum firebolts by 3 while you're above 80% of your maximum mana. Max base level is 1. Pyroblast now requires level 15. Early game damage reduced slightly to match earlier unlock. Damage after level 27 increased by 45%. Added a synergy of 1% damage multiplier per base level. Mana cost reduced. I'm just turning off my AC. Pyre. New level 60 passive skill. Upgrades Pyroblast. You gain a bonus to physical resistance for 1%. After casting Pyroblast, bonus is 1%, physical resistance per 200 energy, max base level is 1. Flame Strike now requires level 30. Havoc, renamed from Twilight Havoc, is now the fire proficiency skill. Requires level 60 and 50 points into other fire tree skills. Damage type changed to fire, and damage increased by 50%. Base cooldown is now 16 seconds, down from 20. Cooldown decreases by 1 second per 900 total energy. So in order to have 0 second cooldown, you would need 16 times 900 total energy, which is in the tens of thousands. Max base level is 25. Forked Lightning adds a synergy of 1% damage multiplier per base level. Thunderstone now requires level 15. Damage reduced by 10%. Increased mana cost to match other single target spells. Eye of the Storm. New level 20 passive skill upgrades Thunderstone. Thunderstone total damage reduced by 10%. A percentage of your maximum life is restored for each Thunderstone cast at a max of 0.5%. Grants a defensive bonus for 0.2 seconds after casting Thunderstone. Defense bonus consists of poison length reduction, max of 60%, and maximum lightning resistance, maximum of 4%. Max base level is 4. Tempest now requires level 25, damage reduced by 10%. I want to say this skill was already sort of average before, and they nerfed it. Although, let's see if they fix that with Mind Spark here. Maximum Tempest projectiles increased by 2 from 8 to 10. However, additional Tempest projectiles now scale based on total energy instead of skill level. When maxed, Mind Spark adds 1 projectile to Tempest per 800 total energy, i.e. 24 energy required for 10 projectiles. Max base level is 4. Superposition. New level 100 lightning proficiency active skill requires 50 points in other lightning skill tree. Or lightning tree skills. Short range teleportability without a cooldown and with a high mana cost. Disables use of your non-quest summoning skills. After teleporting, you become entangled for 5 seconds. Entangled increases your attacks or cast speed by 200%, reduces poison effectiveness, and prevents fire, cold, and poison damage. What, to you? Potion effectiveness increases by 5% per base level. Max base level is 5. Oh, that seems really, really powerful. Oh, prevents dealing fire, cold, poison damage. Okay, I misread that. Okay. So basically, this is a devotion skill. Even if it's not really a devotion skill, I'm calling it one. Cold. This tree has been reworked to play as a short-range caster. Thus, all skills are compatible with melee devotion. Frigid Nova, renamed from Frigid Sphere, now requires a scepter or orb. Explosion now originates from your character instead of at a target point. Explosion expansion rate greatly increased. Maximum area of effect unchanged. Added a synergy of 1% damage multiplier per base level. Crystalline Barrier. New level 10 buff skill. Requires a scepter or orb. A long duration protective shield which damages and freezes melee attackers regardless of if they hit or not. Increases defense against projectiles, which increases exponentially with your cold spell damage bonuses. Freeze length starts at 0.2 seconds but increases with your cold spell damage bonuses. Fire, lightning, and poison spell damage is reduced by 1% per character level. Damage to melee attackers increases by 10% per base level. Maximum base level is 10. Shatter the Flesh, and Abyss removed and still available as O skills. Abyss was strong but but a lot more difficult to use. Shatter the Flesh, from what I remember, is just kind of useless. By kind of, I mean it just was useless. That was an ice-type corpse explosion, I think. Glacial Torrent. New level 20 active skill. Requires a scepter or orb. Unleashes a freezing cascade in melee range, dealing heavy single target damage. Total damage multiplier increases by 1% per base level. Wintertide. New level 30 warp skill. Requires a scepter or orb. Teleports you to a target, freezing nearby enemies and healing you. Cooldown is 8 seconds and independent of all other warp skills. Freeze length is 0.6 seconds and increases with your cold spell damage bonuses. Healing is 4% of your max life over 4 seconds and increases with cold spell damage bonuses. Max base level of 10. Rhyme. New level 50 passive skill. Upgrades Wintertide. Your total energy increases freeze length. Freeze length scaling from energy increases per base level. Max base level is 4. Hoarfrost. New level 40 passive skill upgrades Wintertide. Adds cold damage to Wintertide. Cold damage is equal to 60% of your total energy when maxed. And bam, max base level is 4. Frostborn. New level 100 cold proficiency skill. Requires 50 points and other cold tree skills. Increases physical resist by 10%. That is lovely, actually. Enables witch blood damage for cold spells regardless of life level. So witch blood will be more viable with this. Lornado. Range increased by 20%. Increased early game damage levels by 25%. Levels 1 through 27. Added a synergy damage of 1% damage multiplier per base level. Eludication. New level 50 passive skill upgrades Lornado. Allows your poison skill duration stat to modify Lornado projectiles. More projectiles increase area coverage and provide better burst damage. Adds 1 projectile per... What is this? 210 minus 10% times base level percent. Max base level is 10. Hold on, I'm trying to think. What would this be then? Per 110%. Oh, okay. Decay. New level 20 passive skill. Upgrades Miasma. Increases Miasma debuff duration by 10 seconds. However, Miasma will deal no damage. Yeah, who cares? Miasma damage, from what I remember, was always shit, and there was no way to ever make it viable compared to Lornado or Carpet of Spiders, aka Arachnomancy, which I am going to be reading next. Damage at level 1 increased by 15%. Now requires level 15. Now adds a 105% bonus damage to poison duration at character level 1, decreasing to 0 at level 105. Added synergy 1% damage modifier per base level. Okay, so Blight is going to be... So these two are the same as this one. You deal no fire, cold, or lightning damage. Oh, that's the same as the lightning one up above. 2% of your total energy is added as a bonus to movement speed. 2.5% of your total energy is added to poison spell damage. Melee. Moonstrike no longer converts damage to magic. Removed confusing bonus to self-physical damage. Maximum life bonus now 1%. Per skill level, max of 20%. So put 20 points here, I'm thinking. Weapon physical damage is now 20% base plus 1% per skill level plus 9% per base level. Now only allows the use of melee summoning and buff debuff skills. Paradigm shift. New level 10 passive skill upgrades Moonstrike. Moonstrike loses its physical damage bonus but now increases innate LE damage instead. Innate LE damage bonus is 15% of Moonstrike physical damage bonus. Cold-Blooded. New level 30 passive skill upgrades Moonstrike. Weapon physical damage reduced by 100%. 1% of total dexterity reduces enemy cold resistance. So, So at 2,000 dexterity, you would be able to get, well, I guess technically it'd be 1,900, or no, 1,990 total dexterity. You could have minus 100% enemy cold resistance against every single enemy in the game. So this could actually make some pretty awesome crowd clearing skill. Well, crowd clearing and boss killing abilities here. That's actually really nice. Blade Storm, level 5. Half number of projectiles for better performance. Double damage, weapon damage modifier. This is a buff, as far as I'm concerned. This is just a straight up buff. Fusillade now requires level 30. Now has a fixed seek range of 9 yards and moves very slowly instead of being stationary. The above change is made so its skill fits better with the melee archetype. Duration is now always 1 second lower than cooldown, meaning maximum uptime has been greatly increased. Now has 3% of total dexterity as magic damage per base level. Weapon damage modifier is now 100, down from 115%. Base level is now 10. So I want to say this is a major buff, though I could be mistaken on that. Arcane Sustenance. New level 40 passive skill. Upgrades Fusillade. Mana Shield drains 50% less mana per hit while Fusillade is active. You restore 2% of your maximum mana on melee attack while Fusillade is active. Maximum base level is 1. So doing this will keep you alive for a lot. Having this will keep you alive for a lot longer, if I had to make a guess, because you take away mana, or enemy damage takes away mana instead of health, and this constantly regenerates it. This actually is worth looking at. Premonition, level 90 passive skill, upgrades Fusillade. Your max block chance is increased while Fusillade is active. Block cap increases by 6% per base level. Maximum base level is 5. Coven. New skill tree which contains the following upgrades. Living Flame Fire Dance, Warp Armor Nova Charge, Snow Queen Ice Elementals, Vengeful Power, and Hive. You may pick any 2 passives from this tree and the associated elemental skills. Ice Elementals now gain 10% to life and damage per base level instead of base levels in other skills. Symbol of Esu can no longer bake instantly healing cookies. Now it's 25 spell focus and 5%. Not 5%. Now it's 25 spell focus and 5 spell focus per base level. So now we get to item only skills. I'm going to check one again. What do I think so far? Projectiles based on poison skill duration. Yeah, melee Sork does look not a lot nicer now. And what do I think so far? I don't even know what to make of a lot of these changes. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to relearn everything from ground zero, basically. Item only skills. Sky Siege now requires a bow or crossbow to use. Unholy Armor doubled cooldown. Whirlpool reduced duration by 20%. Weapon damage is now 40%, down from 50%. Mana cost is now 200, up from 110. Will spawn on body armor instead of boots. The power of the skill warrants a bigger trade-off than the boot slot. I'd have to look at Whirlpool. It's not as glorious as it was in Ultimative, when it had no cooldown, and life leech values were different. Titan's Fortitude. This will now behave just like the Barbarian Innate version. Mana Totem and Elemental Totem. Fixed unintended HP bonus per level. Exploding Totem, Fear Bomb Totem, Devil's Fang Totem, Dead Wall Totem, all removed. I don't think did anyone ever use these things for anything? I mean, there was that one that generated a bunch of reanimates, but when they reworked the summon changes for summon Necro to not affect reanimates, they put the nail in the coffin for some reanimator Necro. It's like nobody ever used these things, I don't think. Whatever, who cares? Orb of Annihilation, mana cost reduced to 4,000. So I could make a Orb of Annihilation build now, since it's not going to be as ridiculously expensive to cast anymore. Warcry, critical damage now scales with Ancient's Blood base levels instead of Cornflux. Critical strike chance now scales with 4%. Wolf Companion base level up from 2%. Damage now increases by 3% for every 100 total energy. I mean, not that I could ever make anything with Warcry anyway. Or not that I ever did, rather. Venom Cloud Totem now fixed a bug that caused it to gain no damage from levels. Trinity Nova, cooldown now 0.8 seconds. Electrobolt, damage increased by 11%. Hail of Stones, damage increased by 20%. I have no idea what either of these do. Phoenix Wave, I have no idea what this does. Range increased by 20%, speed increased by 30%, damage increased by around 7%. Static Lance, damage increased by 100%, now releases 3 bolts. Ice Bolt Nova, now spawns on Sorceress Armors. Range increased by 5%, damage increased by around 5%. Vortex, damage increased by 200%, mana cost halved. Winter Avatar, removed next delay, damage reduced to compensate. This is a buff. Bloodlust, Mark of the Wild, and Gift of the Wild. Double O skill base duration. Alright, we're getting close to the end. Item changes. General changes. Total character defense X renamed to X percent bonus defense for consistency with skill descriptions. Items which block direct summoning of certain minions will now only affect the minion in question. Lottery recipe. Amulet bonus now 5% magic resist. Percent max resist. Move to new charms. What was the lottery recipe before? I actually forget what it was. Was it +1 to all skills, or am I thinking of rings? The only thing I could see this being particularly useful for is maybe farming the witch. But you wouldn't need to farm the witch. Or maybe against Lazarus, because having magic resist does, or at least did, reduce the damage that the Black Hand totems do to you. Relic stat rebalance. Most reanimates replaced with various undead monsters. I guess to fit more in line with what reanimates actually are, but as I've already stated, reanimators have been dead for a long time. Items which granted Crane Stance grant avoid weapon and physical damage now instead. And here I was actually thinking of trying Crane Stance out one day, but so much for that. Oh well, it's no big deal. Improved weapon speed modifier of Necro crossbows by 15. Improved, not increased. Improved. Improved weapon speed modifier of regular crossbows by 10. Tiered elemental bases will now gain damage from attributes at a lower rate than sacreds. Nice. Ono and Mammon axes are now elemental bases. Increased Ono attack range by 1, meaning you can attack from further away. Increased throwing axe quantity, repairs less often. Don't skills... Like, skills don't take weapon quantity away in Median. At least they didn't in old versions, so this is kind of pointless. Or staff dexterity requirement increased by 33%. This is a pointless change because you can get not only can you get the dexterity requirements probably from O skills, or from charms, but like, why would you want to get dexterity for this? I mean, I understand why you would want to, but why make this change? That just seems really stupid to me. Assassin Claws, base attack speed bonus reduced by 5. Paladin one-hand class weapons, increased weapon physical damage gain from strength from 11 to 15%. Alright, here we go. The rune word rework aims to make the process of creating rune words more straightforward and finding out about the runes themselves, as opposed to the current heavy re-rolling based system. Read more in these announcements, which I'm not doing right now. Removed the following runes: Sha, La, Kur, Ix, Third, Nast, Ath, Kra, Vith, No. Okay, so basically all Media and XL exclusive runes are now gone. Or the Fosdenville ones might exist, but the Taroja ones have removed. Modified level requirement of all 33 main runes to 11 to 90. Enhanced rune, Cis rune removed. All enhanced runes have a new name that resembles the base rune. Enhanced runes are now world drops, each higher rune being rarer, like Vanilla D2. Enhanced runes can become extensions of the basic ones. 2 Zod runes that can be upgraded into an Ol rune, previously Elsis rune. 2 equal enhanced runes can be upgraded into the next rune. Taroja, okay, we already said Taroja runes are removed. Rebalanced rune drop rates across the board. So I'm thinking we actually want to save our Zod runes and above, which that reminds me, I'm gonna have to rework my D2 drop notifier. Disabled rune downgrading. Ooh. So that means we might actually want to. That means we might actually need to Countess farm on normal difficulty again. I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually. Added rune clusters, in which runes of the same type can be stored, like the Arcane cluster. Modified Forge Countess rewards to fit the new scaling. Adjusted Assault Rescue on Mount Ariad awards. Modified... Okay, so... Okay. Oh, okay, this was actually changed. Normal drops Ral Orton Thal runes. Nightmares Lempal and Hell difficulties Ja, Cham, and Zod. Okay, and rune words have been reworked. Disabled rune word unsocket rest. I just want to immediately bury this. Disabled rune word unsocket recipe can still unsocket other qualities. I want to completely bury this idea, but I am willing to wait and see what changes are made to rune words. If it's not just about re-rolling for good RNG, then it doesn't matter. Natasha's Legacy rune word has been removed and is now a craftable unique item. I don't know about that. We'll have to wait and see. Can I go from the top again? Well, from the top of the document? Absolutely not. Because I have to go to work here in about an hour or so. But this will be archived on YouTube. I think throwing weapon quantity change was a server load thing. Okay. Attacking like PD2 has. God, they stack automatically when you pick them up. I would hope so. The Median doesn't currently. They haven't explicitly stated it. Okay. So where was I? Removed. Okay. Quantities and oils. The following changes aim to reduce the time needed cubing rerolling. Rune wards and honorifics. Removed extra durability affix from superior items. Fuck that shit. Thank God they removed that. Superior items can be no longer re-rolled or luckied. Superior weapons now spawns with 35 to 60 enhanced damage, or spawns with 35 to 50 enhanced damage and attack rating. Okay, thank God. Fuck extra durability, because literally nobody wants that shit. And if you need durability that bad, you go with indestructible. Superior armors is the same thing, except instead of attack rating, it's 1% damage reduction. Honorifics weapons now receive 25 to 40% enhanced damage. Honorific armors receive physical resist. Oil of Renewal now works for all qualities except superior. Does that mean rare too? Because if that works for rare, that'll be really nice. Now we'll always provide max sockets. Okay, thank God. All of these changes so far are actually pretty nice, except for this, but if they're always going to spawn with these, then it doesn't really matter that much. Unless you can't do the socket punch recipe. Oil of Luck disabled for white/honorific items. That's a little bit bad, though. Actually, with this increased damage and defense, it's about the same. Oil of Enhancement can now only be used to create tier uniques. Oil of Greater Luck, new cube reagent. Upgraded version of the Oil of Luck cannot be purchased from vendors, but drops in all Act 1 story side areas. Can grant the same bonuses as the Oil of Luck, but the success chance is now 40%, up from 20%. Oil of Augmentation, new cube reagent which upgrades magic weapons, armors, and jewelry to rare. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this one. Tiered uniques, I'll read them anyway. Fang Spear, now always 200% to Miasma Haunt duration. Web Spinner Miasma duration bonus is now always 4 seconds. Wedding Dress of the Zon, Moonstrike ED is now always 200. Demonstone Blood, flat fire damage reduced, or doubled. Inviticus, physical damage from strength reduced by 40%. That's the Gilded Shield, the Barbarian Shield tier unique. Shroud Royal, physical damage bonus from strength reduced by 33%. Bone Chewer halved attack rating bonus, physical damage bonus reduced by 30%. Sawfish remove Doom skill levels. Emprian Band increased Doom proc level. Inviticus reduced bonus strength scaling by 20%, so Inviticus has been nerfed twofold. Hellfeast replaced with the new side skin TU Zenith. Acid Blood removed Vanish skill. Alright, we're almost at the end of this. Sacred Uniques. Bone Scalpel now adds 100 flat dexterity, no longer based on Blessed Life base level. Adjudicator. Neutrality. Total damage bonus reduced from 50% to 25%. The previous value is too high now that Absolution was introduced into the game. It now gives 1 to Paladin skill levels. Bonus damage to Holy Fire is now 5% of total strength at a max of 250%. I'm just going to select a bunch of these. Guarding the Sluz Glen. Conversion effect now correctly caps at 1000 spell focus cap. Kingsport Signals. Fire Pierce increased by 33%. This is that one This is that one sacred unique arrow quiver. Panthera's Bite. Super Beast proc duration doubled to 20 seconds. Astral Blade. On kill Mythal proc changed to on attack. Chance increased from 5% to 8%. The Defender now gives 100% bonus fire damage to retaliate. Stacks additively with counterattack. Fire Hydra removed the previous orange modifier. Now reduces Annihilation cooldown by 3 seconds. Replace 33% Fire Pierce with 50% fire and physical magical spell damage. Blinding Trends bonus duration to Solar Flare reduced to 100%, down from 150%. If this were any other version, I would say who cares? But given Solar Flare seems to actually be good, this might actually be required. Black Ice no longer gives 30% vitality. Life on striking reduced to 5. Void Touched, Corrupted Vines proc chance now 15%, down from 20%. Void Touched is that one druid bow that is upgraded through killing Sam. Proc chance after upgrade is now 25%, down from 33%. This is the Flamefront one. The Havakalva's Legacy. Living Flame skill bonus now 8 to 15, down from 15 to 30. Now increases maximum firebolts instead of adding firebolts directly. Vaisha's Wall skill level bonuses are 4 to 8, down from 6 to 13. I have no idea what that is. Zon Prodigy now increases maximum bolts instead of adding bolts directly. Konduran Royal Pendant removed, whatever. Hawaiian's Hawacha, this is the crossbow. This is the crossbow that adds the Flametail shot on striking proc. Orange effect modified to nullifies alchemical provision. Flametail proc level 3, reduce flat damage. Added flat damage. Smokeless Fire, extra Fireheart totems is now 1. The Warshipper no longer adds soul bond bonus. Malevolence no longer adds soul bond bonus. Cleaver of Mirrors now on Hammerhead axe base. Max damage roll 175 up to 125. Mad King's Spine adds 50% of Super Beast bonuses deadly strike instead of spell damage due to skill changes. Silver Scorpion now adds 8 Storm Crow's projectiles if not hit recently. Barizado Kanyanan, attack speed bonus now 20%. I forget if this is a buff or not. Mashis Iron Parrot now adds 8 Storm Crows, same as Silver Scorpion. Vanquisher Mind Flay upside bonus is now 20%. Forest Defender, new orange modifier. Spiritual Alignment adds 5% lightning spell damage per base level. Spiritual Alignment no longer adds fire/cold spell damage. Cold Blood minus 20% attack speed. Empyrean Glory increased Doom proc level. Mistress of Pain reworked to count non-lightning Coven passives instead of non-lightning tree skills. Storm Focus now 4 to 6 Necro skill levels. This is the one that buffed the lightning totem, I think. Hand of Rathma no longer has HP penalty. Mad King's Spine now adds 50% of Super Beasts. Wait, this is on here twice. Talak the Unwilling. Removed outdated orange text, now gives 33% to leap speed. Reworked for the Earthshaker tree. Rogue Foresight removed. War Spirit O skill. Yeah. Okay, Natasha's Legacy. Now a unique obtained by completing an item design, which drops from Spirit of Giowa. We are slightly over 3 hours into this. Any TLDR? Possibly. Getting good where it quivers is annoying. Yeah, for sure. There's not a whole lot of... most of these changes are actually pretty significant and worth looking at. Sets. Elemental Children's set. Removed a total of 120 spell focus. Tower Lord. 3-piece bonus. Reduced spell damage. Full set bonus. Increased necro skills by 2. Reduced maximum resistance by 1%. Zon SU Secrets. Remove bonus O skills. Now grants 15% less physical resist and 30% more pierce. I'm not sure how useful this is. Like, 15% less physical resistance is pretty bad. And also, certain sacred uniques can give 30% pierce on their own. Hadriel's Lore. Remove cold spell damage stats. Affected pieces and full set bonuses. Got fire. Physical spell damage increased. Removed O skill. Imperious's Edict. Full set bonus now adds 30% movement speed instead of reanimate. Imperious body armor and shield now have 200% bonus defense. I personally think this should just be reworked altogether. Because Imperious Edict is the Unholy Caster set, but it was designed for like the ancient one, when Punisher was an actual skill in the tree. Cyanide's Craft. This is the Holy Melee set. Remove procs and magic damage on set pieces. Added flat fire damage to all set pieces. Replace poison pierce on full set with fire damage. Replace O skill fire damage. Yarius's Grey Omen. This is the neutral den. Replace chest pierce with vessel damage. Helm weapon damage attributes removed. Added vessel damage, life regen, and movement speed. Remove WDM attributes from gloves. Add a bonus to resistances. Replace broken vessel targets mod with bonus defense. Removed O skills, procs, and pierce from the full set bonus. Now increases Vindicate duration by 200% and adds vessel damage. Gathering of the Tribes. Now a Barbarian Elementalist set. The Coming Storm. Remove procs and physical damage attributes. Increased lightning damage. Added movement speed. Procs. Rend. Bear's Warding. Strength bonus now 20%. Wolf's Fang. Removed lifesteal and minion life penalty. Dex bonus now 20%. Increased enhanced defense. Now adds innate LE damage. 3 set pieces. Replaced bloodlust damage with lightning damage. Full set bonus. Removed strength enhanced weapon damage bonus. Reanimate. Now adds IED and physical resistance. Tundra Walker. Now Barbarian Whirlwind set. Veil Hunter. Increased enhanced damage bonus. Removed Glacial Nova proc. Life increased by 200. Grey Ranger. Removed proc and cold damage. Increased physical damage. Added attack speed. Added magic find. Step Sleeper. Removed skill bonus and pierce. Reduced strength bonus to 30%. Added enhanced defense. Ancient Bronze. Removed cold pierce. Increased enhanced defense and maximum damage. 2 set pieces, or 2-piece bonus. Replace strength with 5% physical resistance. Full set bonus. Replace cold pierce with 1.33 yards to Gale Force AoE. Mount Ariat. Now Barbarian Earthshaker set. Eruption. Now is a Kriegsmesser base. Removed fire damage proc. Now adds 100% EWD. Now adds 1% max fire resistance. Snowstorm. Removed cold pierce, cold damage, and proc. Now adds 1% max cold res. Ravine. Now adds 1% max lightning resistance. Avalanche. Removed elemental mods. Now adds 20% movement speed. Now always 200% ED. 2-piece bonus. Reduced enhanced weapon damage to 50%. 3-piece bonus. Replace poison resist with 50% EWD. Full set bonus. Removed elemental stats and procs. Now has Thunder Slam on kill and lifesteal. Defense bonus up from 200. Defense bonus up to 250%. Okay, we're almost there. Rainbow Warrior. New Druid Wear Owl set. Okay. Emerald Cloud, 5% chance to reanimate as Nighthawk. Emerald Earth, increased block chance from 1% to 2%. 5% chance to reanimate as Nighthawk. Emerald Flower, 5% chance to reanimate as Nighthawk. Another, same thing. 2-piece bonus, replace minion health with 10% crushing blow. Increase druid skill levels from 1 to 2. 3-piece bonus, replace 50% defense with 50 to all stats, which is a much better trade. Replace 10% lifesteal with 1 life on striking, which I want to say is also an improvement. Full set bonus, increase all stats bonus from 50 to 100. Increase all resist from 25 to 30. Now adds 40% to all enemy resistances. That's a nice set bonus. Spirits of the Nephilim. Remove damage attributes. Adds 2 to barbarian skill levels, cast rate and hit recovery. 2 beast bonus, proc increase to chance. Proc chance increase to 10%. 4 piece bonus, removed O skills and reanimates. Now adds 1 to max barbarian minions, mana regen, and 200 life regen per second instead of vitality and strength. And now we go down to miscellaneous, which is the last part. After reading everything, have I decided what I'm playing to start? No, I'm going to post a straw poll. Also, that reminds me, I'm going to be disabling comments on this stream for a couple hours once I'm done streaming this, because I'm not dealing with fucking comment bots. But don't worry, I will enable comments at, well, where I live tomorrow morning. And of course I'll post the straw poll immediately once I'm done with the stream. Mystic Orbs, implemented via engine. This frees 50 valuable item stats, not orange ones, that we can use for new features. This also allows us to virtually add any amount of new MOs in the future as well. Mystic Orbs no longer require the cube to be used. Instead, they can be right-clicked into any item. You can no longer accidentally over-MO an item, as orbing will fail if you do not meet the new required level. Sorry about that. UMOs are now limited to 5 each per item, a needed balance limitation that was not possible before. I'm assuming this means you can only put 5 unique Mystic Orbs of any sort on an item. Meaning, like, you can only have, like, let's say 2 of one unique Mystic Orb, 2 of another unique Mystic Orb, and 1 of another unique Mystic Orb, and then you're done being able to put UMOs into that item. That's what my understanding of what this says is. Stat display is dynamic. Standardized Mystic Orb and skill description text referring to on attack and on melee attack. Explorer's Globe now always rolls 2% attributes and -5 to all attributes. Solitude now gives 3% strength. Now gives 1% chance to cast level 1 Life Spark on striking instead of banish when hit. Apple of Discord now gives 40 to life mana instead of 60 life and 30 mana. So I want to say this is a nerf. Farnham's Lost Marble now gives 60 life on melee attack instead of 75. That's obviously a nerf. Zale's Soul Orb now gives 2% energy instead of reanimate. Mana up to 150. Crystal of Tears. Damage now 5 to 8. Life penalty of 1%. Potion changes. All potion costs have been increased by 20%. I assume this means the amount of gold you pay at the store. Healing and mana potions may now be used simultaneously, consequently move speed penalty stacks. Healing potions no longer dispel poison. Fuck you hard. Healing potions now always last 7 seconds with the healing rate increasing for each tier. Greater... Okay, yeah, you can see this. Mana potions, all... Okay, same thing. New mana regeneration potion tiers, yeah. Rejuve potions... Rejuvenation potion, velocity... who cares? Like, nobody uses Rejuve potions anymore, I don't think. Other than for nostalgic purposes. Like, healing potions are just far superior. Item affixes removed, increase apple healing. Like I said, apples should just have been removed from the game entirely because they suck now. Flat LE damage rolls on rare affixes have been increased by 20%. Maximum physical damage affix has been reduced by around 10%. Remove skill cap stats on items. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Assassin shields no longer spawn. Veil King affix, yeah, because nobody would ever be stupid enough to willingly use this anyway. Dexterity bonus can now spawn on all melee weapons excluding wands and orbs. Shrines. Shrine vessels now describe their shrine stats. Shrine bonuses for one-hand weapons and non-body armors now 4 to 5%, down from 4 to 8%. Less re-rolling. Spell focus now 20 to 30, down from 6 to 60 and 40 to 60 instead of 9 to 90 and on two-hand and body armors. Okay, so yeah. Jewel crafting. Jewel crafting recipes have been updated. L gives magic find, tier gives Elirez, F gives minus requirements, Tau gives 50 to defense. I want to say these are all the same, mostly. Orts minus experience difference. Amon gives all attributes. Okay, this is different. Amon gives all attributes. Shale gives summoned minion life. Hell gives max damage. Lum gives... Actually, I'm just going to highlight all these. Lum gives life leech. Used to be Burr. Foul gives spell damage, used to be Zod. Pull gives summon minion damage, used to be Kerr. Mal slows attacker by 1%. I forget what used to be here. Gull gives minion resistances. Ohm gives minimum damage. Sir gives life on attack and mana on attack. These used to be knee rune, I think? Jaw is life and mana after each kill, used to be on. And Zod gives indestructible. So you might actually want to craft a Zod crafted jewel just for the indestructible modifier. Especially if you get a... Actually, I forget if ethereals really spawn in Median anymore. I know you can make them using an effigy, but whatever. Cycles, speed. Okay, I haven't read this, but I wish they would just remove fucking gold find cycles from the game. But anyway, cycles, speed now 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and 5 to 6, down from 1 to 3, 2 to 6, and 4 to 8. Life, medium cycle no longer gives max HP, flat life minimum roll increased by 10, large cycle max HP now 10, 0 to 1%, flat life minimum roll increased by 20. Attributes, medium cycle percentage bonus now 1% instead of 0 to 2, large cycles now 2 instead of 2 to 3. Trophies, Sam Trophy now gives 5% max mana instead of 5% max mana and life. This is a nerf. Archbishop Lazarus Sleep now gives 5% max life, down from 20. Now gives 50% combat speed instead of cast speed and attack speed only. I want to say that is a buff, or a nerf. And that's it. We have been live for nearly 3 hours. For over 3 hours. Hold on, let me just close this out. How long? Almost 3.5 hours. So, I know this looks kind of crappy, but I don't care. So, like I said, I will be posting the straw poll now for what I think would be fun to watch playthroughs. And like I said, if you're watching this in the archives, I assure you guys I will enable comments tomorrow morning. And yeah, that's it. So I will probably be streaming... I might stream Final Fantasy X one more time tomorrow, but obviously Friday I will be streaming Median XL Sigma 2.0. So I will see you guys next time. Farewell.